out at least?
I'm not doing the introduction.
Why did?
I'm not doing it.
Why do I?
Why were you there like that? Why did you just got like what's going on here? What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade. That is your boy Joey Options, and I'm on both cameras, Sharif, and shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's see who's weaseling on in. Yes, there we go. We got my main man, Adam DeLuce. Shout out to the OG Darwin, dancing up a storm in MB3. The beautiful Gate in HY. Shout out to Rivian Millionaire. Have you looked at Rivian today? We're knocking the door 7% last time I looked. Gorb, Mateus Lane, Pitch Bowl, Christopher Holcomb, and Mr. Dang Longshort. Shout out to Paul Goodson and Easy Media. And then the real OG, a proper Dang Paradox. We got our Arjun. We got Fiddlebeck, Frisky Supreme, and ANBHU. We got C-Wave, we got Naps, we got Soul Queen, we got Bazinga, Malinowski, Ozan, Keeley. Let's go, Ozan, the Piper. We got Bill Cook. We got Gene Cook. There's a lot of cooks. Top VOIP, welcome back. Shout out to you, man. Nessa. We got Sergeant Peppers and Alton, Dan, Fyrick on the blockchain, and Charmian Khan. We got Ronaldo and Varun. We got Mela, not Arun, Varun. We got Brent Roth and Big Bob Corn and Echo Max. 1320, as well as Warren. There's a whole bunch of y'all. I can't get it to all. Last one here. Shout out to Jacoby Waters. Good morning,
Yes,
Joseph.
sir. Good morning, my guy. What's up, Jaspreet Singh? What's up, my boys? Dan F. What's up, everybody in the chat? It's been an absolute zoomer so far this morning. Sharif, what do you think about the session?
It's ridiculous, bro. Everything's moving up into all-time highs. The account's buzzing, as you say.
Buzzing.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch to talk about, Joseph. We're going to weasel on into the lesson, but let's see how those sectors are doing on the day.
You know what? Let's get those sectors rolling here real quick, guys. And I have a good idea who's going to be leading the way so far, guys. But let's take a quick look at the sector performance. And sure enough, we're going to go over the win play show. First place up 1% on the session. Consumer discretionary, led other than by, I wonder who. Second place, the communications services, up about 0.9% there. Google has been buzzing this morning, trading higher. Do we knock on the door of 200? I think that is in the near future. And then surprisingly, in third place, Sharif, without looking, what do you think? What sector is in third place?
What
here?
sector? Communications.
Yeah. Ooh, no, that was in second.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Real estate. I didn't see it.
You've seen it now. You've seen it now. Now it's real estate in the third place, guys, up about 0.6 percentage point there. But, you know, we got a hot lesson by our guy, Sharif, this morning. So let's dive right in, my
We're
guy.
continuing the talk about trends. Again, guys, all these lessons based on John J. Murphy's book, Technical Analysis of the Dang Financial Markets. That's not really the name. I added that dang in there in case you didn't notice. But we're talking about the fan principle today, as you can see there on the screen. So by the end of this lesson, hopefully, we'll be able to understand the fan principle as discussed by John Jay in his book and learn how to apply them into real-world trading scenarios. Let's waste no further time.
The fan principle.
Really, Rammer?
Yeah. I just thought it was the fan.
And you know what? She's taken over the desk from Andre. She's bullying Andre into putting this picture on there. You see that?
Yeah, she was like...
She can't help herself. She just has to be evil and mean all the time.
I'm not too happy with my seating, though. I would maybe, like, up on stage at least. I thought the fans...
Why is Joseph why is he the only one?
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get right down to business. Love it, man. I love the energy around here. Guys, introduction to the fan principle. Let's talk about it from a very basic level. First, it's a concept that helps traders analyze market trends and potential reversals. It revolves around the idea that trends don't reverse all at once, but rather they reverse in stages, often delineated by a series of lower and lower trend lines, obviously for a downtrend, and higher trend lines, obviously for an uptrend. As the trend weakens, in the case of a downtrend, the slope of these trend lines becomes less steep. creating a fan-like appearance on the chart. So the definition is kind of, really no point explaining it at this point because we kind of already said it, but the technical definition refers to a sequence of progressively flatter trend lines drawn on a price chart signifying a gradual weakening of the trend. And its purpose is very simple, right? It helps traders identify where a trend might reverse, providing them with entry and exit points in the market. And this is kind of what we're looking at. I just want to show you what it looks like first before we go into the characteristics. This is kind of what it looks like. You take one point in time, typically an area trough, a local area low, maybe a multi-year low, whatever, and then you're drawing trend lines into local area highs, crests, as we sometimes call them. Okay? So the key characteristics of the fan principles are as follows. There are 3 trend lines here that we use, okay? And obviously you can draw more, but the principle is based upon 3. They typically involve, the first trend line here represents the steepest part of the trend, from the local area low to the local area high. The second trend line, when the price breaks the first line, a new, less steep trend line is drawn to another local area high. And then the third trend line, if the second trend line is broken, a third and even flatter trend line is then drawn, okay? The whole point of this is to really focus on the gradual reversal, okay, by drawing these trend lines. So rather than a sharp reversal like a Christmas tree retracement, as our boy Randy in the back likes to call it, and that's what that is it's an inverted V where you just move up aggressively and then down right back where you came. Rather than that kind of sharp reversal, the market is undergoing, in this particular instance, a gradual transition with each trend line being broken successively. The slope flattens with each successive trend line, showing the decreasing momentum of the prevailing trend. And it's got a fan-like appearance because it looks like a dang fan. That's the only reason, right? When viewed on the chart, the sequence of trend line creates a visual effect similar to a fan. The angles become wider as the trend weakens and the price fluctuations become less aggressive. And as I've already shown you, here is what it looks like for the bull trend, but it's equally as valid for the bear trend. And this is kind of what it looks like. So you're drawing from an area crest, and then you're drawing 3 successive lower trend lines into area troughs. Okay? And this is how it actually unfolded on the Russell 2000 index back from August of 97 to February of 98. And you got a big boy reversal there, but you saw that the reversal was coming to an end vis-a-vis the trend line break, the trend line number 3 break there, right when looks like we were going into February or January of 98. Okay, so the practical application of this is the most important. So the number 1, it helps identify, trend reversals. Traders use the fan principle to detect when a strong trend is starting to lose its momentum. For instance, if a steep uptrend starts breaking its first trend line, it signals a weakening trend. When it breaks the second, traders should consider that the uptrend may be coming to an end, and then that you can take one or many different actions. You can add to your short position if you're short. You can get out entirely of your long position. You can take the opportunity to add into your long position if it's a key area of local support, maybe a 3-year low or whatever, been tested multiple times. So an example, imagine a stock is in a steep uptrend. The first trend line captures the aggressive price move to the high side, right? When the price closes below this steep first trend line, traders should watch for the second, less steep trend line to form. If the price breaks that second trend line as well, it's often a sign that the trend may be reversing. So we need to take actions consistent with that observation. There's not just one action we can take. It really depends on what we're trying to do. Are we short? Are we long? But we have to take an action at the break of that third trend line. The timing and of your entry and exits equally as important. The fan principle helps traders time their trades by recognizing when the trend has weakened enough to make an entry in the case of a reversal, or to exit altogether to avoid losses if the trend dies. So for example, a trader holding a long position might decide to exit once A trader holding a long position might decide to exit once the price breaks through the second trend line, ensuring they preserve their gains before the trend fully reverses. And the last reason we use it, or the practical application of it, is adjusting your stop losses. So if you're taking a swing trade, or even for long-term trades, as each trend line is broken, traders can adjust their stop loss levels to protect themselves against further downside risk. Example, after breaking the first trend line, a trader might move their stop loss closer to the second trend line to secure profits in case of an all-out reversal. Everything good?
Yeah,
IBIT or Tesla?
I mean both. I mean both of them, man.
They're both still going,
Yeah,
eh?
they're wow. Continue, my friend.
Yeah, we don't have much left.
No.
So combining these fan principles with other technical indicators, and I'll submit to you the best use of technical analysis is when you combine a multitude of tools together that end up showing you on the balance of probabilities one side or another. So to enhance the accuracy of trend reversal predictions, traders can use this fan principle in conjunction with other technical indicators. The first one I'll submit to you guys is the relative strength index, RSI for short. The RSI can help confirm whether a trend is overbought or oversold, aligning with the trend line breaks in the fan principle. We've often talked about this. It's one of the uses we can employ for RSI by gauging any print above that 70 to be looked at as overbought, anything below 30 to be looked at as oversold. It's typically not that simple, but we can try to incorporate aspects of RSI when we're just very basic aspects of RSI when we're combining it with other technical indicators. So in this particular case, using RSI with the fan principle, how would you do it? If the price breaks the first trend line in the fan formation and the RSI simultaneously is showing you overbought conditions, it then strengthens the case for a potential reversal. You can also use it with moving averages, right? Moving averages, especially that 50, especially that 200 moving average. It can serve as an additional support or resistance level. The practical application here is as follows. So if a price breaks a trend line in the fan principle and simultaneously the price also crosses a key moving average like the 200, like the 50, this serves as yet another piece of the confirmation puzzle that the trend is weakening. And we'll also look at MACD, moving average convergence divergence, a momentum oscillator similar to RSI but not the same. It can provide further insights into momentum shifts and the way you'd use it here, like the practical application of using the fan principle with MACD. If the MACD line crosses below the signal line, we know from our previous lessons we got two lines on the MACD, the signal line and the MACD line. If the MACD line crosses below the signal line at the same time that the price is simultaneously breaking that second fan line trend line, it adds weight to the argument for a trend reversal. And last but certainly not least, an indicator that Joseph talks about often is volume. Volume analysis can support the fan principle by highlighting the strength of the trend line break. So what do I mean by that? So if the break in the trend line is accompanied by higher than usual trading volume, it suggests that the move is significant and could lead to further breakdown in the trend. You have a couple of ways to analyze volume here. One, you can look at RVol, relative volume. What's the RVol on the day as compared to regular days? Or you can just have a perfunctory look at the volume bars on the daily. Does the volume bar today for this break of the trend line with the break of the moving average, is it bigger? Is it more volume than its predecessors? It's super easy to see what volume bar stands out when you're comparing them to previous volume bars. So keep your eye out on that. What's happening?
Oh, I thought that was a real print.
Is that a dark pool?
Yeah, it was. I'm like, there's no way that actually.
That's a dark pool,
Yeah.
And this key takeaways, guys, we're done the lesson here. The fan principle provides a structured way of analyzing trend weakening and reversals. It also helps traders anticipate trend reversals by observing a series of progressively flatter trend lines. And then by combining the fan principle with other indicators like that RSI, like the MACD, like volume, and of course moving averages, traders can improve their timing and decision making in the dang market. I hope everybody prints up several thousand storms today. I'm kidding, of course. Well, I'm not actually. I don't print. And yeah, that's the lesson of the day.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You good?
Yeah, did you get it? Oh, you didn't get it.
Oh, no, I'm not
yeah,
plugged in
secret
yet.
info.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
locked in,
That's
eh?
probably good, though.
All right,
'cause,
then. Tap in, baby, tap in.
yeah, now I'm plugged in. I'm ready
Tapped
to go.
in. We're ready to go.
Who'd you vote for? BTC, AAPL,
Oh, come on.
Tesla,
What do you
Rivian?
think? We did, but we're doing an ad read right
my
now,
bad.
my guy. That's all right. VinFast. Breaking news from VinFast. 2024's electrifying success story. VinFast is on fire. For the third straight month, VinFast secured our spot as Vietnam's #1 car brand. Dominating the market with record-breaking sales in November 2024, we hit a thrilling milestone, delivering, Sharif, over 16,000 electrical vehicles in Vietnam, the highest ever in a single month. But wait, there's more, folks. Let's gear up for the future with the groundbreaking of VinFast's new CKD factory in Vietnam. This state-of-the-art facility is set to revolutionize the game, producing our iconic VF3 and the VF5 models with an impressive annual capacity of 300,000 vehicles. Mark your calendars. Phase 1 will be up and running by mid-2025. VinFast, folks. VinFast, beautiful stuff. VinFast, yeah, I'm interested if they can make a little imprint over here in north of the border. So.
Yeah, and I saw a bunch of VinFasts in Calgary, and I have no idea why.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because maybe I was coming out of the airport, and someone was telling me that what's it called? One of the let's just call them the Uber cab companies, where it's just like they're Ubers, but they're being run by one. They're all running VinFast. So I thought that was interesting there.
That is interesting. Yeah, I mean. You know what I found interesting though is, and I was just listening to Josh Brown yesterday, and he was talking about Uber and how it's down pretty much 25%, or a little bit over from those highs. But he's like, guys, this is a little bit of panic. Sometimes the market overreacts to certain things, and this might be one of the cases because he had a valid point. We understand that Waymo's heading into the Sunshine State, Florida there, but essentially, Robotaxi doesn't even have a vehicle on the road yet. So I mean.
No,
Tesla.
don't.
Yeah, so it's it's like a little bit over reaction there on Uber. But again, I think some people are buying. He's buying it down there, and I think a couple other people are going to be buying it down here as well.
I saw a lot of Twitter mentions about Uber on the weekend, and they were talking about, rarely do we get an opportunity to pick up something on the cheap, this, that, and the other. Yeah, look, I've now put Uber. I believe it or not, I didn't have Uber on the watch list, on my side watch list for a hot minute. But I've put now Uber with big tech. So I've got it with Netflix, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, and Tesla. The reason I've done that, I'm going to price action watch it every day. I want to have it in my purview every day. If this is legitimately an opportunity to get into Uber, then I need to see a trend change. But I never really watch Uber all that much. It's not part of my daily focus of stocks to watch. So I put it there. I might pick it up. That's kind of the whole spiel to tell you why I put it on the side there. So Uber definitely on watch for me to weasel into. All right, I've gotten to a trade here. We're already taking some profitability of a few outs already on BBAI, Big Bear AI in focus for me today. It's up nicely, about 20 2/3%, trying to deal with a $3 area, but it's got great price action support at this 295 look right now. So this is how we got into the this is how high we got right at the opening range, 295. We drop down, we hold VWAP at that 280, 275, and then we make the new high day 318. So we come back in to that exact area of price action support, 295, that 2 candle hold up at 955 and 10. I punched in and we already took some long there, BBAI, but there's a plethora of small cap gappers. You're not going to see too many triple-digit winners. I don't believe there are any triple-digit winners today in small cap gapper world that are over $1. I don't have any eyes on anything south of 85 pennies, but here are the ones that I'm watching, and they're all in play. None of them are giving up the ghost, literally none. WKEY up 47%, coming into VWAP. I like it at $11. BZUN putting in higher lows, and we'll see if it can take out that 355 top. That is where I think it could squeeze and break above that 375 area. Okay, we'll keep an eye out on that. SIDU, this one's awfully volatile. I said there were no triple-digit winners. I lied. This one's up 100%, but well off the highs at 318. Ziggin, Zaggin, SIDU up 99%. SGMO, 30%. About 10 pennies off the highs. Look at that bottoming tail candle that he just put in there at 11:15. Got bought up by an aggressive storm. You got the quantum plays. These ones are moving to no end. QUBT, QBTS. They're all up big. They're all near highs. They're both on the side chart. We're going to look to trade them. CIFR. Look at how respectful this one is of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. And last but not least, the one I'm involved in with right now, BBA. We are going to go to Adara at the green screen. I think we're doing sector watch.
Bit of a sector segment here. We're going to take a look at some of the, as we usually do around 11:20 a.m. during the midday, some of the strongest and weakest names in the S&P 500. Because we actually have the NASDAQ apparently touching new intraday all-time highs, I thought it may be fun to take a look at some of the names in this S&P 500 that are actually sharply down in the day. So things that are trading counter trend to what we're seeing with this index as a whole. So before we do that, make sure you take a chance to vote in our poll. You have 4 tickers to choose from. Around 1 p.m., we're going to see another 4 tickers as options there. These are all tickers that are going to be in play or on watch today. And so make sure you vote for your ticker of choice. The top 5 of those 8 tickers between the 2 polls will be gone over during our afternoon rundown at 2 p.m. by Neil and Sean, with Sharif providing color commentary here in the green screen. So make sure you get your votes in. In the meantime, let's take a look at some of these S&P 500 laggards, including SMCI, down about 7% right now on the day. They are going to be removed from the NASDAQ 100, which they actually only joined earlier this year as of December 23rd before the bell. Interestingly enough, Palantir, which is set to be added and is also on the S&P 500, trading lower on this as well. So keep an eye on SMCI, PLTR. Next up, we have PSX down about 3.5%. They provided a little bit of a business update this morning, setting their 2025 capital budget and also announcing this agreement to sell their interest in Gulf Coast Express. Last but not least here, this is going to be Ford. F is the ticker for this one, down almost 3% here after getting an upgrade from Jefferies to underperform from hold rating, lowering their price target from $12 to $9. So keep an eye on F today. STLA was also trading a little bit lower in sympathy this morning, guys. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Thank you very much, Adara. Yeah, Ford's a hot mess. Can we talk about something?
Talk whatever you want.
These quantum names. We've been watching them run basically since a little bit after the election. Fair?
Yeah, fair. Totally.
Was it like right after? I think it was like a week after or something like that,
yeah,
right?
A couple of nonsense.
You think it has anything to do with information leaking about Willow? Because I still don't know why these quantum names were running prior to when Google announced Willow. Kind of a random time for them to run.
Yeah, I guess so. Random time. I can't tell you too much about Willow. If I said I had any knowledge about that, I'd be lying. But who knows? Some things correlate and add up.
Just saying. Yeah. I'm not saying, but I'm also just saying.
You're not saying. You're just slightly saying that. The timing is slightly odd. Oh, God, we did have a couple super chats though, Sharif.
Oh,
yeah, we forgot those. So, yeah,
I see you,
Brent
sir.
Roth, thank you for that dollar super chat, much appreciated. And then we have Amdeep Sainai. I don't see. Hold on, let me pull it up here real quick. Did they ask for anything in particular on this super chat here, or is just a?
I think he was just
just a dollar.
Jim, yeah.
Dollar for the
we appreciate
dollar
it,
club.
no
Dollar for the dollar club. I appreciate that a whole bunch, guys. But I mean, this run that Tesla has been on for the past month since the election, essentially, not yet a little bit more now, it is, in my opinion, is absolutely insane. Oops. Let me pull this back here. I don't know how much farther we can go, and we were just talking kind of about Uber and Josh Brown, and I do feel that we are pricing in, like I know Dan Ives says, yeah, this can add another $1 trillion to Tesla's market cap, but how much more parabolic can we go on this asset? Again, eventually it's going to pull back. I didn't think we were going to go all the way up to 460. I know the boys in the back we were talking not too long ago, they said 500 this year, and as of right now, Sharif, it's looking like it's definitely achievable. 500, put a 5 in front of Tesla at some point throughout this year.
Oh,
but
God.
again, yeah, I don't know. At some point, it has to pull back. We can't just continue to go parabolic like this, in my opinion. But it's been proving me otherwise. So I can't say like we can't, because we clearly are. So let's see what's going on with Tesla. Really like that. I know a lot of people have that in the long-term account as well too. But going on to Bitcoin, you guys know my stance on Bitcoin. I really like this. We're breaking that all-time high. I did have a little bit of worries about this thing. I'll pull up just why, but now we broke that, which is a little bit more, gives you a little bit more confirmation of what may go on. But one thing I will point out is that we did have this support base, but this curl over, I'm not in love with. But even though we are continuing that northeast trajectory, I do think at some point we pull back, but again, I'm not going to fight this trend whatsoever. My positions are doing fantastic. So again, I can't argue the fact that and I don't want to belittle it or put it behind me saying, hey, I don't think what's happening is going to happen, because clearly we are moving higher. I think 110 is that next psychological price target. One thing that I wanted to point out, guys, was this here. I mentioned that, and we now broke that. So that's a little reassuring as well, too. So let's see if we can continue. Broke with momentum here. We broke that 100K. Now up very nice on the session so far, Sharif.
We're throwing it to Adara. She's got some for us.
She's got something for us. Send it to her.
We have XRP, which is sharply to the upside. This catalyst did come when Sharif was doing the lesson of the day, so I put it in the chat. But in case you missed it, basically, with Ripple confirming that RLUSD, which is their coin they announced got approved in New York last week, is actually going to be launching on global exchanges tomorrow. So RLUSD, watch out for that tomorrow. XRP running up here on that catalyst. This is the 3-minute chart, as you can see here. Nice volume increase on that news and sustained upside volume pretty much since then. I also want to bring up Intel. This is Intel here. Look at this pop in volume, and it looks like it has to do with this catalyst here with Amazon announcing a $10 billion planned infrastructure investment in Ohio. We know Intel has done some chip factory work in Ohio, so it looks like that's what's moving this one to the upside, though. It looks like it gave up a lot of that initial push on that 3-minute chart, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. Dude, I was watching on the weekend. CNBS had a nice little special there about the Arizona fab being built by Taiwan Semi. And you guessed it, Arizona. First of all, it's monstrous.
I bet.
So that was my first observation. The second observation that I had, though, was every dang machine they had in that fab had ASML stamped on it.
Okay. So how we doing on your ASML there?
We're okay, Joseph. We don't like to talk about when we're in the money. We only like to talk about when we're out of the money.
All right,
right. But we're okay. We're okay. Yeah, we're doing okay.
You're doing okay. What is it made all-time highs there?
Oh God, no, dude. We're about half the price of all-time highs.
Oh no! Wow.
Yeah. 723.36. We're dealing with right now. I believe. Let me just double check real quick, Joseph. About $1,100. All-time highs.
Okay.
Let me double check that. If maybe it was higher during the pandemic, but you know, Joseph, the daily is the one that. Okay, so yeah, 900 during the pandemic, and then 1,100 this past July.
And we're trading at 7.
So from the shellacking we got from that 1,100 high to that low that we put in long ago there at 643, we're down about 42%. Ooh, that's a shellacking right there.
That is. But hey, you're in at some good prices there. I know you grabbed.
I'm building it up. I'm sorry to talk up my own book, but you know I don't really think that I have that much influence over the stock anyway.
Yeah.
But, so you know I can speak about it. But no, that was really genuinely my observation. The third observation that I wanted to make as well is there does seem to be some collegiality between Taiwan Semi and Intel, at least according to some of the execs at Taiwan Semi. They meet weekly with the Intel execs, who is also building a fab in Arizona, and they're trying to deal logistically with water issues, energy issues. So some you know, I guess collegiality there doesn't really hurt the industry.
No, not at all. I'll send it to you in a second. But Dan F., my good buddy, he sent me this. He put on a monster trade on IBIT this morning as well too. So congratulations to you, Dan. Nice move there, my brother. Much appreciated on that one. He said, hey, I don't usually trade this, but today you kind of persuaded me and said I'm going to look trade a little bit of IBIT on that front. And Tesla is still continuing to crawl higher. I think $460 is definitely achievable today, especially at this pace. Let's see if we can get a pullback at any point, because as of right now, up 5%, over 5%, Sharif, on the session, continuing to crawl higher. And so is our good friend Bitcoin. So let's see if we can take a little bit more off up here on Bitcoin. What do you got cooking up there, brother?
We're in a couple of positions, Joseph. We're dealing with BBAI. It's still holding above the 20 exponential, and by extension of that, holding above VWAP, which on my chart is 291. We've taken out a couple of beak wetters here on BBAI, but it is coming into my entry again. And on the other side of that, so I'm obviously long, so I'm looking long, but to be fair, the other side of the coin is that it's putting in lower highs. So that's not the look that I want. I need that trend continuation to manifest by putting in higher highs. We're not getting that quite yet. And as I look at it further, there does seem to be a seller of note, at least for the moment, at 306. We're waiting for the next print at 308. I'm also involved in SGMO. Taking a couple of prints out on this already, looking for that break of the high of the day, which is around $0.75. I'm getting 3 now bottoming tail candles forming here on the 5, and they're all bouncing off the 10 exponential. I know that's a whole bunch of technical jargon, but what I'm seeing here with these 3 candles set up right now, bottoming tail candles, measures as buyer exuberance. Buyer exuberance to me is denoted with the bottoming tail candles, because every time it dips into that predictable level of support, aka the 10 exponential moving average, it's being bought up. And here it goes again, 728. Let's see if we got the print quickly before we send it to Adara. No, we're still waiting for that print, so not forthcoming. Adara at the big desk.
Donald Trump apparently speaking live from his Mar-a-Lago home right now, starting at 11 a.m. I was not able to find anywhere to stream or watch this, but I'm seeing comments coming through here on social media and through news wires. Basically, SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son, as expected, announced a $100 billion investment in the USA over the next 4 years, though apparently President-elect Trump actually asked Masayoshi Son to make it $200 billion. So Masayoshi Son apparently investing about half of what Donald Trump would like him to. So that's a little interesting note here. I have DJT up because it is getting a little bit of a pop right now. Other comments from Trump right now at this address, including basically proposing that federal workers who don't return to the office should be dismissed. So some comments here with regards to return to work statutes. But other than that, not much coming out of this. As we have anything more, I will let you know. Apparently, he just said that, quote, we will pass tax cuts. So something to keep an eye on. Also keep an eye on Meta, apparently, announcing that their Ray-Ban Meta glasses have added live AI, live translation, and Shazam support. So keep an eye on META and DJT. Again, if I hear anything else coming out of President-elect Trump, I will let you know. Back to you.
Yeah, he made it clear on the weekend, Joseph, that he wants those tax cuts that he passed in 17 extended. That's going to be one of his first orders of business. He was on Meet the Press, I think, mid last week, and one of the first questions she put to him, what's your first 100 days look like? And he's like, right away, immigration, border. We all know that he's going to be focused on that. But the second thing he said was those tax cuts. So that's going to be interesting to see. How that all jives with the balance sheet. Obviously, his position is he can offset those tax cuts vis-a-vis tariffs. He's looking to take our money, Joseph.
Yeah, he's going to take our money, charge us a little bit more.
25% tariffs on Canada.
Yeah, he's going to put those tariffs. Yeah, I think I was watching a little bit on that as well, too. I think they want to get that corporate tax rate down to around 21% or something along those lines. Yeah, so let's see. I mean, that's good for the markets. And Sharif and I were talking about this off camera as well, too, that Trump was the first, I guess, the president-elect to be soon since Reagan in '85
ring the bell.
to ring the NYSE bell. So yeah, and I forgot this for Adara there at the end. So we'll pop that in there real quick because we're having too much fun over here, Sharif, watching Bitcoin slowly climb higher, knocking on the door of 107,000 there. So let's see if we can continue on this northeast. I really like it. I bid up about 5% on the session. So let's see if we can continue. We are now pulling back as we talk about this, but that is okay. And then also, I really like MSTR on the daily, MSTR. Let me pull it up here real quick. I do like this on the daily for a potential breakout. We are sitting on top of this range and prior resistance. So let's see if we can hold this level, and then maybe we can slowly start to climb and start breaching other resistance levels, take this resistance level out. And then this is a really, really big, I think, issue from a technical standpoint for MicroStrategy. It may take some time to exceed this price target here on $544 just because of the size of this candle print and the volume following it. So somewhat exhaustive volume you can consider it as. But again, I really like where it's sitting from a daily standpoint. Excuse me, let's see if we can continue on that northeast pass there, guys. And yeah, I know there's a couple people asking me to look at some things in the chat. Sorry, I skipped past them, so just continue to let me know, and we'll go over those really nice. I know SGMO year in and Jazzpreet in the chat was talking about that, so glad that you covered that one there because it is moving. It's a therapeutics company, so good luck there. $564 million market cap as well too, Sharif. So you've been trading up a whopping 31% on the session, so really good luck there. NVDA has kind of been chopping. We talked about this on, Sharif and I talked about this a little bit off screen, and I did with my buddy as well too, is that we broke some key levels, I think, on NVDA and are holding them. So we need to monitor if we're gonna continue on this south path. So let's see, 131-ish, we'll call it. That level broke, and this is, as of right now, a really strong bearish candle. So it looks like that support break may hold. Let's see what the next coming days bring. I'm going to wait for this trend to turn around and then maybe possibly start to look to long this thing. But as of right now, the sentiment is weak on NVDA. It's kind of holding, even though the market's putting in a fantastic day, holding it back. If NVIDIA was participating, imagine what this market would be doing right now. So,
ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely ridiculous. So let's see. I don't think it's going to turn around anytime soon. But again, I think in the near future, it eventually does turn around. And then maybe we can join the rest of its Mag 7 peers and start creating some new all-time highs as well.
What do you use to look at crypto charts?
Saying that trading view.
Yeah, trading view?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
good. Because XRP, everybody's yelling about XRP
XRP
right now. But I should also let you know that it's not XRP, just XRP. Bitcoin all-time highs as we speak, baby. So here's what I've got. I don't know, everybody's platform is a little different. Mine is saying 107,379.50. I don't know if you're able to jive with that, Joseph, but this is the all-time high on BTC, I believe, taking out the overnight high. Yes, we are above the overnight high. Well, we wicked above the overnight high. We wicked above 107,000 ever so briefly. We're zigging. We're zagging right now below. Well, actually, we're above 107. So we're at 107.1 right now. These are all-time highs as we speak right now on crypto. It depends on what time your crypto or your Bitcoin percentage up on the day restarted because it's a 24-hour market, but I've got 3.84%, and ETH 1.80, still below that $4,000 mark. That remains an elusive area for ETH to stay above. I know it's been above it previously and not even recently before that, but having trouble holding above $4,000 is ETH. All right, we're in two positions right now. BBAI, I've got a planned dollar cost average right above the volume weighted average price. I'm sitting at 92s. I see VWAP at 90s, trying to front run it there, all the while knowing that we have been in a lower low, lower high situation since making that HOD right at 1037. So we're on the lookout for a possible breakdown here. I'm also set up a dip trade on QBTS, an ominous high of the day, but we're gonna kind of neglect looking at that because it's just numbers. 666 HOD on QBTS. I'm waiting over here at 32s to account for an area price action support. So look at what we did over here at 1110. We weaseled all the way up to 630, rejected aggressively, dipped down into the 580s, and then we broke and took it, making that high of the day at 666s, like I mentioned. So it looks, I'm waiting over here at price action to support for the fill. The fill is not forthcoming. I'm starting to feel like I may not get the ad as this has not dipped into my entry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chase this. I'm going to get in a very small position just so that I can get involved if this goes without me, but not not so big as to really get me in trouble if it is to drop down, because I do want my price near that 6 1/3. We're going to keep an eye out on that. We're going to go to Adara in 1 second, but I just want to let you know BBAI is coming into VWAP, and decisions have to be made here because I don't want to trade it below VWAP. Adara, what do you got?
I'm going to do our earnings segment really quickly, though. I want to say apparently Michael Saylor is speaking on CNBC right now saying, quote, I think Trump is serious about a national Bitcoin reserve. Michael Saylor, of course, the CEO of MicroStrategy, which is the newest or one of the newest additions into the NASDAQ 100, effective December 23rd. So keep an eye on MSTR and, of course, Bitcoin as it surpasses that 107,000 level for the first time. In terms of earnings, it's going to be a light evening for earnings after the close tonight. RCAT, though, chopping and turning here around this, I guess, kind of support consolidation area, up about 18% right now. RCAT reporting after the bell. I'm not seeing any estimates for their revenue or earnings per share, but it's worth noting this thing has a 27% implied move. And last earnings, it dropped 18%. So RCAT on watch. This morning, they actually, and the reason for the strength this morning is they announced a collaboration with Palantir. So RCAT, absolutely on watch. Earnings for this week are actually going to be mostly in the back half of the week, starting with Wednesday morning, we'll get Birkenstock and General Mills before the bell. After the close on Wednesday, we'll get Lennar and Micron. Thursday morning, we'll get Accenture and Cintas. Then Thursday after the bell, we're going to get Nike, FedEx, and BlackBerry. And then Friday morning, we'll have CCL. It's also worth noting here, Donald Trump making some comments still during that, his address from Mar-a-Lago. I have put the link to that in the chat if you want to check that out here. So keep an eye on DJT still, but lots of earnings names on watch this week. Back to you guys.
And you know who else sees it and also plays blind? Adara. She sees all the gestures Ram's giving me, and she doesn't do anything about it. She doesn't say anything to Ram. Neither do you, bro.
Me? Yeah. You know, you're not wrong. I give her the opposite, though. I show the love, man.
I like that, eh? You're flipping the switch.
Yeah,
Joseph,
CLB,
you're
man.
smart.
I told you, CLB.
All right, we got to pay some bills.
CLB.
All right, guys, breaking news from VinFast. 2024's, am I doing VinFast? 5 seconds.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Okay, so we got to wait. Okay.
Doing it again.
Yeah, no, let me know. Just get that animation. There we go. Breaking news from VinFast, 2024's electrifying success story. VinFast is on fire. For the third straight month, VinFast secured our spot as Vietnam's #1 car brand, dominating the market with record-breaking sales. So in November of 2024, we hit a thrilling milestone, delivering over 16,000 electric vehicles in Vietnam, the highest ever in a single month. But wait, there's way more. Let's gear up for the future with the groundbreaking of VinFast's new CKD factory in Vietnam. This state-of-the-art facility is set to revolutionize the game, producing our iconic VF3 and VF5 models with an impressive annual capacity of over 300,000 vehicles. Mark your calendars, phase 1 will be up and running by mid-2025. What's more, VinFast is charging ahead of the global stage. V-Green, VinFast's strategic partner, has inked a major MOU with Prime Group to roll out a staggering 100,000 EV charging stations in Indonesia. This isn't just about expanding infrastructure, it's a bold leap towards a greener, more connected world. VinFast is not just breaking records, they're setting the pace for the future of mobility. So buckle up. The ride has only begun. We're sending it to Adara.
Dang.
Noting here, keep an eye on META and Snapchat. A little bit of a volume spike to the downside for Meta right now. Donald Trump was just asked during the Q&A of this Mar-a-Lago speech about TikTok. Basically, what are his plans with TikTok? What he said was he has, quote, a soft spot in his heart for TikTok because of what he and his son Barron Trump did with regards to the youth vote. So not speaking any specifically about what he's going to do, but mentioning a soft spot for TikTok. So keep an eye on some of these non-TikTok antipathy social media plays like META and SNAP. Again, not a super specific response, but worth noting nonetheless. Back to you guys.
Yeah, man, easy. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. This guy, he's a character, that's for sure. He's one of a kind, Donald Trump. But yeah, Tesla continuing to just hover around these all-time highs and the high day as well, too, guys. Trading around $455 on the session as of right now. I know someone mentioned Nike, so we'll talk a little bit about Nike. You have a leap on Nike. We talk about this here and there about the retailers and kind of how Nike swayed it from what they previously used to kind of knew a new look from a business perspective. Let's see if they can start to rebound, because this is an absolute iconic brand. Grabbing it down here is probably a good look, and especially that you gave yourself some time, even more beautiful. So yeah, hopefully that works out really well for you. You have a lot of time, so let's see if this stock can turn it, this company can turn it around. And I was just thinking about like Michael Saylor. He's kind of pitching Bitcoin to everybody. Just relax, I think, in my opinion. I'm pro Bitcoin. There's no doubt about that. There's no beating around that bush whatsoever. But Saylor, just relax a little bit, my guy. You don't need to, you know what I mean? It should sell it.
He's aggressive, eh?
Yeah, it should sell itself. You know what I mean? Like Rolls Royce doesn't have any commercials. These guys don't have any commercials. So like, with Bitcoin, if the product is real and genuine, it will just sell itself, just kind of like some luxury car brand. So again, just stop pushing the agenda. We know maybe he's getting a little sweaty and anxious because he's literally you can't be any more all in.
Well, dude,
so now
they almost went bankrupt in 22.
Yeah,
so, if he's been able to deal with that, he's showed tenacity and ability to weather the storm. He's all right.
But yeah, I think he's all right. But you know what I mean? Just relax a little bit here. It's gonna work out. But speaking of Bitcoin, guys, we're pulling back in a little bit here. Someone in the chat asked me about MicroStrategy as well too, surpassing 430. We touched 430, but again. Let's see if we can continue on Bitcoin, pulling back a little bit. I think we go and test this $60 on IBIT mark and then see what's going on from that standpoint. Sharif, what are you cooking up there?
Respect that, man. We're in 3 positions, Joseph. We got a bit of a beak wetter here on QBTS. I'm sad, though. I still haven't gotten my ad at 6 1/3, despite having the resting order been hanging out there for a hot minute. QBTS, quantum computing name. It's been in vogue lately. Most of these quantum computing names have been running. Rigetti, RGTI as well, QUBT as well. There's a plethora of them. Trade them carefully. They happen to be volatile on certain days. Today it looks like it's a nice aggressive trend to the high side here on QBTS. I'm waiting at 59s for the next fill. And then true to form, if there's a 60 print that I want, where it's going to be sitting. So we're going to wait there as well for the print on QBTS. I don't know if I got the ad quite yet here on BBAI. It's been hanging out in front of my ad level for a hot minute. I'm waiting at 292. It's still trading here above the volume weighted average price. I'm talking about Big Bear AI, up 17% on the day. And then the other one that we've got over here, SGMO, is still dilly-dallying here with this 2 3/4 area. I've been waiting as well for the third print at 73s here on SGMO, ultimately trying to de-risk in front of that $0.75 area. I'm still seeing higher lows and a respect of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 on SGMO, but we're not getting that print quite yet. I'm waiting there. It just has to cross above 73s. It looks like there is a hidden seller at 73s because we've been there multiple times, haven't been able to breach it. Keeping my eye out on that. There's a whole bunch to talk about, guys. I know you guys are talking about WKEY. It's a beautiful one. I mean, it gave you that opportunity right at the volume weighted average price at 1045 and 1050. And then since that time, it's been reclaiming 12. And now we're not even talking about 12. We're talking about breaking and taking 13. 13, though, acting as a bit of a resistance level on the day. But this is looking awfully bull flaggish, right? And especially with the higher lows since the dip into VWAP, the holding at VWAP, it's got all the right characteristics that you want to see for these small cap gapper momentum trades, 61, 62%. With good areas of support and resistance that are predictable. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. I see SIDU as well. SIDU is rocking up here. And I mean, SIDU's had a fantastic morning, whether it was the pre-market or after the bell. We've been trading at highs the majority of the day. Every time I look at this, it's printing a new all-time high or a new intraday high, excuse me. The range per candle can be a bit wide at times, but it's got good direction. So it kind of makes up for some of the range issues here. Here's my thing on it, though. It's getting awfully extended away from the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart. And it's getting more extended now as it prints more intraday highs. 385 HOD, and look where the 10 exponential is at 310. So that's getting too far away from the 10 exponential. And if you watch me trade these small cap gappers before, I use the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 as an informal gauge of overbought and oversold conditions. If I can show it on the chart. Over here, we see how we're trading at 385. Well, we're about 80 pennies more now, extended away from that 10 exponential. So I needed to come in. I like it maybe at 3 1/5, 3 1/4. If it dips into that area, I'm a buyer on SIDU. Looks like we're getting some prints right now, though. So it's time to weasel on over to see how we're doing here on SGMO. Okay, good. All right, so now we're going to wait at 77s for the next print. Let's see how that one's doing. Okay, QBTS continuing to range. It's got a bit of a range here between 6 1/3 and 6 1/2, with obviously that high of the day coming at the ominous 666 level. We'll see how we do on that one. Didn't get the ad here on BBAI. Quite disappointed that I didn't move up my order from 92s. It did dip in to 92s on BBAI, but it did not cross. If you don't understand anything about the spread, you know it needs to cross to get the fill. So we'll hope to do a little bit better in execution, but I think we got some good ideas there, Joseph.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, Davis has a great question. Joe, will you touch on holding options over into the new year, or if you believe it is better to vacate positions and start new ones in the following year? Sir, thank you. Yeah, no problem. I mean, it depends where you stand position-wise, right? You always want to take that into consideration. And then obviously the one thing about options is time duration as well too. So how much time and where do you stand from a moneyness standpoint? Really take that into consideration. I mean, if you have a longer duration expiration cycle, then continue to hold, right? It's a new year. You're not really off that much. And then things will proceed usually as normal right after the new year as well too. So keep that into consideration. But again, where do you stand from a moneyness standpoint? Are you in the money, out the money, or even just break even at that standpoint? So if you're not comfortable with holding things over the holidays, then that's totally fine. Just do exactly what you said. Hey, Davis, vacate those positions, exit them, and then you can reassess come the new year. And who knows, you may even get a better price. So, or it continues to work in your favor. So take that into consideration. How much time do you have on your contracts, and where do you stand from a moneyness standpoint? And then once you answer those questions, you'll be able to reassess that situation that you're in, and then make a decision for yourself. Like, okay, I'm willing to let time decay, chew up some of these contracts because I'm X amount in the money. And then, okay, if I'm that much in the money, how much am I willing to draw back in order to continue to hold on to these contracts? So if you're only willing to go 10, 20% from the profits that you have unrealized, then sure enough, continue to hold them. And then if that benchmark is hit, then just get out. But again, moneyness and time is two factors that you should take into consideration holding through the new year. But I think you should be good if you are significantly in the money and have a lot of extrinsic value on that front. All right, so yeah. Keep that in mind. I punched out of my IBIT trade here, guys. Sorry, I'll pull it up for you. I punched out of IBIT. It came back to my break even, and it's now going back towards those highs. So unfortunately, I didn't punch in. I don't want to chase it here. So if we break this, I think we can crack. I don't know if we're going to go to 110,000 today, but as of right now, it's looking like we're moving pretty strong. We tested that 107,000 not too long ago. So, yeah, thanks, John Von Soers. As always, much appreciated. Bang, bang, bang. Thank you. Yeah, he is, man. He's always saying nice stuff in the chat. Always saying nice. Yeah, exactly. So we appreciate you. But, yeah, guys, let's see what IBIT does here. If we break this high day, I thought we were going to get a little bit deeper of a pullback on this one. But again, nice trade on it. Can't complain. Stopped out break even. Let's see if we can get another entry on IBIT and or Tesla, because we know that they are some of the strongest assets on the session.
You know what makes me chuckle, Joseph?
What's that, brother?
It's like all we hear is, the Chinese EVs, they're being unfairly subsidized by the Chinese government. The Chinese government's giving them subsidies that North American car makers don't get. I got a headline for you, Joseph.
Let me hear it.
One of the many, by the way. This is one just came to my attention right now. U.S. finalizes $9.6 billion loan for Ford and SK, which is a South Korean battery maker, for joint venture for a plant to make electric vehicle batteries. Doesn't that seem like a subsidy to you? I don't know. I mean, like, didn't Rivian just get, I don't know, hold on, what was that, $6.6 billion?
Crazy.
Is that not a subsidy?
Didn't they?
What's going on here?
Didn't they discontinue the Ford Lightning, though?
Yeah, well, that's for a different reason. It was just-
Okay, so what do you need all that money? So yeah, I mean, so like, what's all that money for if you're not even gonna make your electric truck? I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's just, it's funny. It's like all this, like the Europeans want to tax the Chinese electric vehicles because they're getting unfair subsidies. Are you looking in the mirror?
Right?
Yeah, funny.
Yeah,
anyway, so that's my little rant for today. All right, we're doing well here on QBTS. Got that dip into 30s that I like. We took it out right at the 48.
Bang.
Appreciate you, Joseph. It's kind of bull-flagging right now. We're still waiting for that break and take of the $0.50. I'm layering my orders on this one, hoping that this one squeezes, and I've got some resting orders there that can take some out. So we'll keep an eye on that one. QBTS. Not a bad look on the day. Let's have a look at the other one, SGMO. Come on now. It comes into 777s. I don't get the fill. We're going to have to pack our patience. I think this one is still putting in higher highs and higher lows, so I am confident about this one. Let's have a look at BBAI. So again, we didn't get that fill that we wanted to at 92, so we are break even now on it. Still though, what's a problem here with BBAI that I don't have with the other ones that I'm involved in right now is the lower highs and the lower low patterns that we've been putting in since making that top at 1036. So I'd like to see something above $3.06. That's where we kept rejecting. We used 306, excuse me, as support when we were above that level. And then once we broke below it, we started using it as resistance. So number one, I'd like to see 306 get taken out as resistance, but also to put in that pattern of higher highs. We don't have higher highs right now on BBAI. So packing my patience, seeing what we can get with these three. They're both, all three of them are in the money, just trying to manage them a bit of a better way. SIDU is coming in though. Or do I have my SIDU? Oh, let me take out CIFR. SIDU. Let's have a look at this one. It trades on the NYSE, I believe. No, oh, I typed it in wrong. SIDU. It's on the NASDAQ. Come on, Sharif, you can do it. There you go, buddy.
You got it.
This one, I was waxing poetic about this one being too extended away from the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. It's now rejected $4 or seems to be rejecting $4. I'm a buyer in and around 3.5. That's the last time we had resistance over here. And it's also quite close to the 10 exponential moving average. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit at 355 with a buy order on this bad boy come what may. Zuckerberg. I love that name. That's a sick name, bro. Sharif, Walmart making a run for the highs. That wouldn't be the first day, brother. Walmart's been a dang rocket ship lately. Let's have a look at WMT. Wow, bro.
Wow, I know, bro.
This thing just split, and it's almost at the price that I bought it when it was pre-split, before the pandemic. Well, during the pandemic, excuse me. So WMT up at that 95.5. Great day for Walmart, man. This thing continues to print. Just have a look at that chart. Since we split, man, in February. Okay, let's have a look at that split. That split day was February 26th, okay? Since that day, Joseph, since the day we split till now, we're up 65% on the year. What a trend for Walmart, man. That's a great looking chart. Unreal. So yeah, intraday trade for Walmart, have at it. I don't usually trade it though. I don't even know what the spread is on that, something like that.
No, it's not the best. It's not the best intraday trader, Sharif. But I want to look at Walmart a little bit deeper and see what they offer for a dividend. Because like this thing is just absolutely fantastic. So you're getting the gains of the stock, and then if they pay a dividend here, it's like, man, is there any better stock? Really, you're not going to get that crazy percentage gains or anything like that. Dividend, so okay, only a 1% yield on that, but that, I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. This thing is continuing to move, so you're getting 83 cents a share per year on Walmart. So again, this thing's appreciating up 63% plus that dividend payout. What an absolute monster of a company and a stock. I mentioned this before. It's America's darling. So again, just continuing to trade higher. And I know someone else in the chat here, Sharif, mentioned something. Oh, BA.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at BA for Hey Davis.
Stays high.
Is it at? Okay, yeah. So it's finally slowly starting to curl around here. Boeing, we know an absolute treacherous time this thing's had for the past year or so. Let's see, still down about 34% from that pivot high there. So let's see, even a little bit more. Let's see if it's slowly starting to recover. I think it is going to. This thing doesn't have too much competition in the run. It's only Airbus essentially. So again, I think Boeing, once they get kind of everything turned around here, I know they're having a lot of issues with the machinists.
Oh yeah,
they were on strike not too long ago. So let's see what's going on with Boeing. The new CEO is in place. I think that this stock can turn around. So if you got around 140, you're sitting pretty. I think we can continue. You ask about some next key levels to be wary of is 176, and then you can hit that 192 level as well too. Are we going off to Adara or no? Yeah. Oh, we're off to Adara. Okay. All right. I didn't know.
What's happened so far in the market today, S&P 500 in this beautiful sustained uptrend, basically from the lows of Friday, now coming into previous resistance from Friday pre-market. So let's see if we're able to clear this 607 level for the S&P 500, which is up about 0.5% right now. Let's take a look here at the NASDAQ as well. QQQ is up 1.2%. Also at day's high. So great look for this market. We are entering, as I mentioned earlier, what is historically the second most bullish period for the S&P 500, which is the second half of the month of December. So keep an eye on the index and I guess these larger index-related performers. Bitcoin, of course, also on watch, crossing that 107,000 level for the first time. So lots of highs for this market and for Bitcoin. DJT on watch here. We do have this Donald Trump in general and also this ticker here, Trump Media, on watch as Donald Trump makes comments from his Mar-a-Lago home where he announced a $100 billion investment in the U.S. from Masayoshi Son of SoftBank, also making some comments on TikTok as well, saying that he is soft on TikTok, or he has a soft spot for TikTok. So keep an eye here on some of those social media related tickers. Palantir here down about 4%. PLTR, despite being added to the S&P 500, selling off a little bit as well. SMCI and Moderna set to be removed, as is Illumina, and Palantir, MicroStrategy, and Axon Enterprises are all set to be added. So make sure you take a look at, I guess, a lot of things in the market today. Make sure you interact with our poll, which is in the chat. You have until I think about right now to make sure you vote, and then you have another poll at 1 p.m. for our rundown. And also make sure you like, subscribe if you're enjoying the stream. We're going to send you over to Neil, who's going to deliver his lesson of the day. Take it away, Neil.
Lesson of the day, buy the rumor, sell the news. And I think we've seen this, we've heard it so many times, but oftentimes you get into the moment and it's easy to forget that that phenomenon is out there. Now, when a stock has a positive catalyst, you want to be generally, a lot of times you want to be looking for a long, right? And if it has a negative catalyst, you're thinking it's going to be bad. So how does it play for the whole buy the rumor, sell the news? And where should you maybe be a little bit more cautious or not want to go with the news? To be more cautious or to not go with the news, oftentimes you want to think that the news was priced in. So if you're talking about something with a positive catalyst, maybe it's already been making a gigantic press to the upside and just a strong parabolic trend going into that news. If that's the case, you want to be a little bit more cautious. But what does caution look like? Are you going to not take a long if it sets up and has a great risk to reward and is part of your normal plan? Not necessarily. But what you can do is at least have yourself an execution or trade plan that allows you not to get rinsed if it does turn out to be a sell the news type of event. So I'm going to give a couple of examples here. I think they should be obvious, Palantir and SMCI. So Palantir, inclusion into the NASDAQ 100, it was already in the S&P. So obviously a lot of people were interested in this. It was making fresh highs. And in the last week, it actually had pressed to 80 and was looking like it wanted to consolidate and break away. Now, anybody looking at this chart can see support at 71 the last week with one little morning underneath, and then resistance at 75. Right? Like it's not crazy and it's not rocket science. There's your 75 level. Now, a break away from this had lots of room. 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. The opportunity in that long is that you could get, I think, like a first stage $2 to $3 move. Second stage, you're talking about a $5 or $6 move. That's a lot of potential upside for a name with a very good catalyst. So yeah, you want that long. But you can like it, but you don't have to marry it. It's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong. And I think in this particular case, hey, if the breakout trade is going to work to give you something along here into the 79, 80, 81, Well, then when it loses 75, why still be in this trade? Because if it ends up a sell the news event, then it's people that are long in the weeks going into it and then trapping people along up here and then the bleed. Well, where's support on the stock? You can make an argument for 72. I have no issues with that. But I like the 71 level. Notice on a 15-minute chart what happens when this loses 75. Like, it was strong enough on a 15 that you actually had breakouts early and you could have held on to this for some profit. Tesla just made another fresh high. I'm out. Wow, Tesla's a beast. I just covered my Tesla long. I can't believe it's going to hit 460. But look, once it loses 75, you got to be able to get out of Dodge and then wait for the next available trade. Again, trap set. When it goes past your initial support level or your breakaway area, suddenly sell the news, goes into a bleed. That's where you've got to be able to have an execution plan that lets you out. It's okay to look for another bounce if you still like it, but you don't have to just be sitting there fighting the stock the entire way through. Now, I showed you Palantir, which I think I did a much better on. Whoops, it's SoFi. I meant to go to SMCI. I showed you Palantir, which I think I did a lot better on than SMCI. SMCI, in this particular case, sell the news actually refers to buying the stock because they're going out of the NASDAQ 100 for the shortest duration in a major index that I can think of. It's probably a record, although it's entirely possible somebody got added to an index and then bought out, and then maybe the deal closed fast. So I can think of, like, maybe that could be somebody else in and out as fast. Now, the issue with, it's possible, Sharif, I don't think it's that likely, but I think SMCI probably holds this record. In this case, sell the news was it getting bought back up. Getting out of the NASDAQ 100 is not going to be seen as good news. Now, ultimately, it ended up working as a short. And this was a little bit different for me in that when I go to that 15-minute chart to look for it, with Palantir, it was pretty clear. Like, if it breaks 75, I just want to get out of it. With SMCI, I like 33. There was the 34 level. There was even like an underneath 35. There was the 36 area. Like, I had multiple places where this was setting up for a reversion play for me. So if I liked the short trade, the continuation with the news, it gave me multiple entries. Now, here's where you have to have your own plan of action. Everyone's going to do it differently. But I'm willing to take a shot, take some out, try to hold for the big win. Get out. Take a shot, get out. Take a shot, starts to work, stop out. Take a shot, stop out. Get back in, play in, don't actually hold it to VWAP. But in the case of SMCI, really, it didn't break trend to my last entry. Ho-hum, that's the one that actually worked. But when it's going into that, hey, sell the news is actually buying this one back up, I just want to make sure it doesn't ruin my day. I don't mind taking shots at it because I like the mean reversion trade. And it goes to a level, and that's the right spot to do it. Any one of these trades following through, and it's, well, nothing's beating Tesla, then it's my second best stock of the day. Any one of those going cleanly the first time through. But while that's true, if I just simply don't have outs here, and this reversion doesn't happen, and it trades up into 36, well, I've ruined my day once again. And it's one thing to take a complete A-plus trade that never looks bad and then have it be your worst stock. However, you don't want to get completely blown up when you have an idea in the back of your mind that, hey, it could be a sell the news event. I need to have plans of action to get out so that I'm not getting myself ruined on that day. And that's all you can really do. There's certain places that you don't mind staking your claim. But I'll never see something go into an obvious buy the rumor, sell the news type of mode and not have outs on the way. Know before you get into the trade where you want to get out. Because if you don't have that, you're just going to start making it up on the fly. And it's especially dangerous when you have a buy the rumor, sell the news event like this. How bad could Palantir have been if I didn't get out of the original long at 75? Now, obviously, I think the potential on that trade was gigantic. I thought we were going to $80. So if it holds 75, I'm thinking $5 move. So I'm going to give it more room. That said, I waited until it gave another trade off of 71. you got to have an out. No questions asked. And there was another one I was going to, before we finish this, there was another sell the news event, and that was Moderna. It's getting the boot, and look what it did at the open. It just squoze up. Hindsight being 2020, at the moment where I was taking my first, second, and third trades in SMCI, look at what name coming out of the index was going lower high the entire way through. So it's the other thing you've got to think about is if you have a general idea, why not trade the stock that's following it and pivot to that one? Yeah, it made some back on SMCI, but if you were looking to pop and fade on Moderna, this one then started to go into a downward trend. So the note here is we know buy the rumor, sell the news is a theme. It happens from time to time. You're not going to stop trading stocks long when they have good news. But you do have to have yourself an out when it gets past that point of, hey, it's trapped some longs today on that gap up. Maybe we should wait for another level. As long as you have that out and don't get caught in the trap, you will be absolutely fine. You want to be with the trend, but you've got to be willing to acknowledge when it's more profit taking happening on that positive news and you need to get out of Dodge. That's your lesson of the day. And as always, I suppose buy more Tesla. Wow, Tesla.
Quote of the day.
Neil's pumped about Tesla. Thank you very much, Neil, for that very informative lesson. Neil, the knowledge dropper.
The knowledge dropper. You know what he said? I don't know if it's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong.
Oh, he's been saying that for years.
Wow.
He's been that's been his line for years and years. Yeah,
line.
that's kind of his thing.
Yeah, we need to get. No, then it won't fit on the 8 ball. It won't fit on the 8 ball. It doesn't work. It's too good of a context for that. But I mean, what is going on with Tesla? This is absolutely insane, dude.
I'm good with it.
You're good.
I'm good with it.
I know you are.
We're gonna weasel up.
We're gonna weasel up to it. There, sounds good to me. I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Google, G-O-O-G-L, announcing here via a blog, this is the company making this announcement, that today in the US, they are launching their generative AI tool, which is called Whisk. So Google here with this AI tool, I wasn't able to find the blog post or any more information on this, but as I find out more about Whisk, I will let you guys know. This is in a great looking bull flag here for GOOGL. Also keep an eye on United Health, UNH here, which recently had a nice little fat bottom break here around that 112.15 level. Now trading here just above 507s as Donald Trump, still talking from Mar-a-Lago, commented on the shooting after a question saying, basically condemning the shooter. So keep an eye on UNH on watch here. A little bit of a volume spike in the last 20 minutes or so, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the stream. Back to you guys.
Bro, did you see that? Like, I don't know, she's a Hollywood person. She was on the red carpet for some film and some reporters asking her, I forget what he asked her, and she's like, she started like thirsting over that Mangione guy.
No way.
Yeah, it was an ugly look.
Cringy.
It was an ugly look. It was really ugly. Yeah, he's being,
weird.
well, look, man, however you feel about the healthcare industry, I don't think you should be touting for someone to lose their life. And, just at least it's a little too soon.
Yeah, well, the guy was clearly
I'm gonna get that video.
Yeah, pull that video up because I don't know. I don't think that guy was all upstairs. There was a couple screws loose, I think, with Buddy over there. So Mangione or whatever his name is. Yeah, there's definitely a couple screws loose on that front. But yeah, guys, Bitcoin continuing to crawl a little bit higher. I know some people in the chat are just drooling over Tesla. Someone in the chat said they have 1,200 shares. Bang. Let's go. Absolutely pending up a storm. Hopefully you're heading on to that retirement fund. And then another individual said, these Tesla calls are making me a millionaire. So there we go. Absolute money storm on Tesla. This thing has been absolutely fantastic. Boys think we see 500 soon, so I think so too. Again, continuing to trade higher, up around 5% on the session, now pulling back a little bit. So maybe that was just a little bit of an extension on that last push. But I mean, the volume is steady and we're just steady rising. So let's see if we can continue on that front. But again, Bitcoin's slowly starting to pull back. I know a lot of people probably have that 110,000 price target as the next psychological level there. So let's see if we can continue. I don't know if it's going to happen today. We put in a pretty nice session so far. So let's see, only time will tell on that front. But again, we broke some key levels. But I just want to mention a couple of things making all-time highs. We were talking about Google not too long ago with the Dara, bang, all-time highs. And as well as Amazon touched all-time highs as well, too. So let's, you know what's funny? I went on, I was just doing some work on the computer yesterday, and I wanted to go onto Amazon's website, Sharif, and I typed in amzn.com. And yeah, you know what I mean? It's the ticker, but it didn't, so I had to change that. Right?
It's been trading a minute.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you do that, right?
Yeah. So again, we touched all-time highs on Amazon. So again, these mags are dragging the market up higher. I'm surprised that the Qs are doing what they are, considering the state that NVDA is in. So again, this thing's kind of been raining on the parade. Just imagine what this market would be doing if NVDA was participating, as well as some of these semiconductors. Sharif, what do you think about that?
I absolutely agree, man. But you look, it's Broadcom's turn now. It's Micron's turn now. It's Marvell's turn now.
Yeah.
Look, guys, you know, I didn't know too much about any of the names of the chips that were being dropped by Broadcom, yet I knew some of the names of AMD's chips. Why is that? Clearly, Broadcom was the one that was more favored by analysts as a replacement, or not a replacement, an alternative investment to NVIDIA rather than AMD. And you need to only look at the price chart to verify that. So I did a bit of a deeper dive into some of their chips. You know, they don't name them elaborate names like Blackwell and Hopper. They're just kind of like coded letters Q something or another there. But they are the real deal. And Broadcom is having... Look, it's got 52 million shares traded today in the pre-market. I was mentioning it to Brendo when I mentioned it to him. It was about 5.5 million traded for NVIDIA. It was 3.5 for Broadcom. Never seen Broadcom trade 3.5 before the bell ever, but now it is. So now Broadcom's in play, and we have to put some respect on its dang name. All right, let's talk about these trades that we're involved in right now. I took out the top right now on QBTS. Now I'm waiting at 88. So we got a couple of more outs. Where were we long? We're long at 32. So decent trade. I'm putting it out at 88. I'm trying to front run the size at 7. It's QBTS and QUBT. They're kind of running in tandem. And if you look at their charts, they're identical. So we're going to weasel on over to the side charts over here to show you they're on top of one another. So QBTS on the bottom, QUBT on the top. They're both trading at highs. They're both holding the 10 exponential. They both had retracements at around similar times. So you have to wonder, are the algos that are trading them simultaneously? Because it kind of looks that way to me. QBTS, QUBT is what I'm talking about. We're obviously involved in SGMO, but this one is coming down near my entry, so I need to be careful with this one. I've accounted for that by having my stop through the break of this area low right here. I'm also in SIDU, and I got a great price on SIDU. I'm looking for it to curl. We're in the money, but I'm trying to get it to, I'm not trying to get it. I'm trying to watch to see if it breaks above the $0.50. I'm talking about SIDU. Now, I've got a print right here. Bang. We'll take it out there. Appreciate you, Joseph. Now we're waiting for this break and take of the $0.50. This looks like it could be a head and shoulders pattern to me. And if that's the case, I want no smoke. But here we go. Here's the $0.50 on the ask. Can we cross on the bid? It doesn't look forthcoming. I'm waiting, I believe, at 55s. Let's see if we get the print. The Katina man is back. He's swimmed up a storm, and he's brought the good juju with him. And bang, we take out that top again here on SIDU. Let's see if we can weasel into that $0.50 area. We've got some good prints there to de-risk. I appreciate you, Joseph.
All right.
So these ones are doing okay for the moment. It's BBAI and SGMO that could be a bit of a problem here. So I'm going to look to account for, I'm going to have to move my stop, I believe, on BBAI. Initially, I put it at 85s. I no longer think that that's valid. I don't want to base it around the trough that we put in at around 10.15, from 10 to 10.15. I want to base it on VWAP. If it breaks and drops below VWAP, I don't want any more smoke with BBAI. It's been putting a plethora of lower highs and this flat bottom at VWAP. And if that's the case, I don't want to be caught with a flat bottom break on that. So we're going to go to Adair right now because she's got breaking news at the big desk.
Here, Donald Trump still in Mar-a-Lago talking about his conversations he's had with some CEOs here and prominent figures in major companies, including most notably Apple, saying that he's spoken with Tim Cook about the future of Apple and saying, quote, it's a bright future. So looks like a good look here for AAPL. We also have GOGL on watch. This one breaking new day's highs. It's also worth noting here that Donald Trump saying he apparently spoke previously with Sergey Brin. And then we also have Amazon here said that he spoke with Jeff Bezos. It's worth noting, I am unsure of the timing of those Amazon and Google related calls. He didn't make that super clear, but the Tim Cook call is apparently pretty recent. So keep an eye here on AAPL and the quote, bright future for Apple. Back to you guys.
Hey, I like that Apple news, Adair. Keep bringing good news there. So hopefully Timmy C and our buddy Donald can kind of see eye to eye. You and I talked about this before. Apple has been able to weasel some exceptions from Donald Trump when it comes to tariffs in the past. Does that continue to be the case? We will have to see. It's nice to see Timmy C, though, at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. He met with Elon. Elon was at the table. Elon tweeted or X'd or whatever about the meeting with Timmy C and the Donald, and he said it was a good, productive conversation. He took to Twitter or to X to make that point clear. So I like that, and I like to also see that Elon is not attacking Apple. I don't want to be the focus of Elon's vitriol.
No. You don't want.
He's got a big platform, Joseph. A lot of followers. A lot of people like what he says. I don't want to be in his crosshairs.
No, I wouldn't want to be in his crosshairs either. But again, you don't want. Well, I guess Elon. It doesn't really matter from picking a battle standpoint. But you don't want to spread yourself thin and have battles going on everywhere because we don't. He doesn't like Sam Altman very much. So yeah, like at all. So, but Sharif. The new poll is now up, our long and short SPY poll here, which we've been absolutely killing it as a collective unit. Coming off our best session on Friday there, Sharif, a big rebound for the group here. If we can pull up my screen real quick and pull this up, guys. This is just the documenting of our trades here. And sure enough, a big rebound for the group. Congratulations. So we're now back. Let's see if we can crack these highs today or even coming this week and get this equity curve on the right trajectory, which it seems to be right now. So congratulations to everybody. That's working out really well, and I'm having fun with it. So continue to vote, guys. Get those votes in and see what's going on with our trades. But again, let's see what I'm back in here on some IBIT. Let's see if we can crack this high of day. We're consolidating quite a bit down here. We've been doing for the past half an hour with a little wick out. So we do have some key support levels that are holding intact here. So let's see if we can continue to hold those and then continue to push higher, because I do think 110,000 is obtainable today for the session, because we did touch 107 and we are knocking on the door of 107,000. So I think it's only a matter of time until we do. So let's see if that happens intraday or maybe a little bit overnight. But again, yeah, we're talking about Broadcom and kind of how this may be one of the new chip plays here, continuing to trade higher, just gapping up after that report and then continuing from day two. Again, just putting in an absolute monster session so far. So guys, good luck for those who have traded Broadcom. And continue to let me know what you guys are looking at in the chat. I think this week, Thursday, we're going to do some pivot points, Camarilla pivot points for a lesson-wise, if those who aren't familiar with them. It's one of my favorite. Again, it's really accurate. It's not quite like the Finabachis, as we would like to call them. They hold a little less subjectivity. So again, I really like them. I check them every morning on my train ride in just to see where we stand, if we're in breakup or breakdown territory. So I think you guys will enjoy that one. But again, as of right now, Sharif, we're just going to let this IBIT grind a little bit here and see what we have. Yeah, Costco following Walmart is correct there, Nicholas. But again, we're going to see. We're going to hold on to this IBIT. I do think that we can crack this high of day as of right now. And then let's see if we can get some volume to step in there, my friend.
Joseph, I want to ask you, did you know that Grok 2 is now free in the X app?
No.
And it's one of the better ones.
I don't even have X on it.
Yeah, look, I didn't use X until maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. I started getting on it a lot more. It's now free. So before you had to actually pay for Grok, it wasn't like ChatGPT or Gemini that you could use. Yep. It's actually free. And I also want to say something. So when I called out Google and I said Gemini was trash, I meant it. But everybody now is talking about Gemini 2.0 being a hot fire, like good, not hot fire garbage. No,
like
excellent.
A server.
People are saying it's really good.
Okay.
So I haven't tried it yet. I will be employing it the next couple of days, so I can give you an honest opinion about it. But people are really talking
Let me try out Grok too. I try to keep the social media apps limited on the phone because we do know about doom scrolling, so I try to avoid that.
I totally.
You know what I mean. So again, it is a real addiction, I think, in my opinion. So we're off to it there.
You're trying to break out of this range here with a base of around 37.80, top of around 38.20. Donald Trump is still making comments here from his Mar-a-Lago home and doing a Q&A right now with reporters. Basically, when asked about tariffs, he said, quote, "Tariffs will make our country rich," and said that tariff is one of his favorite words in the dictionary. So looks like this is being well received right now as DJT attempts to break out of this range, up about 4 1/3% right now. Again, as I see more relevant comments here for the market, I will let you guys know. The other thing that was said here recently that is potentially of interest is Donald Trump saying here that there's talk about the Postal Service going private. He specifically named FedEx, UPS, and Amazon. I didn't see any movements in any of those stocks, but keep an eye on postal stocks and, of course, DJT. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I know. Katina Man and I talking about Canada Post, which is the equivalent of U.S. Postal Service, obviously. They were on strike, Joseph. They were on strike for a hot minute.
Well, I have a couple of my hockey buddies work for Canada Post.
Yeah, it's a tough look. You can't blame the employees. Obviously, it has nothing to do with them. But it was a tough look for the union to go on strike right before Christmas. They really handicapped a lot of small businesses that rely on the post, this, that, and the other. So it would be interesting to see if they become a bit more of an efficient government body. You know, they've lost about I want to get my numbers right, but it's either $5 or $9 billion since 2018.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a tough look. It's a tough look.
It is a tough look. I mean, competitive field, I guess, as well.
It's the way it is, yeah.
UPS and everything else along those lines. So yeah, what do you guys think about tariffs? I don't know.
It's a tough one, man. I want to see what it does, like how it ends up being in reality.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, guys, continuing to just monitor some IBIG. Let me know what you guys are looking at in the chat. I'll just go over the top volume stocks so far. And wow, okay, SoundHound in second. So sorry to sway there, but guys, in first place we have NVIDIA with 123 million shares traded thus far on the session, and then SoundHound with 94 million shares traded, and then PLTR in third, and then Tesla with 66 million shares traded on the session. So yeah, I want to continue to look at SoundHound. I know it was on the rundown last week as well too. So let's continue to monitor this from a technical standpoint. And sure enough, it made all-time highs again on the session, trading as high as up to about $18.25 there. So continuing in that northeast path. I think it's maybe due for a little bit of a pullback, but I could be wrong, especially with this movement that it's been on. So let's see if this is just a little bit of a breath, and then you get like a 3-4 bar play on SoundHound. But this thing has been absolutely fantastic. Only putting in a couple of red days out of like a couple weeks there. So I mean, if you're sticking in that, if you caught that breakout on SoundHound, then you're sitting on some pretty pennies there. So congratulations to anybody involved in that. And continue looking at Mora. What is Mora there? Let's take a look at MORA. Is that meant to be? No, there's nothing along those lines. Sorry about that. Maybe you meant Mara, but again, I'm not a big miners guy. I don't like them from a crypto standpoint right now because of what Bitcoin and Michael Saylor is doing. So I don't need to be chopping around in something that is a field that's extremely competitive, and the computers are only getting more expensive and better. So again, it's a tough field to be in if you are a Bitcoin miner, especially if you haven't been in the game for a little bit of or a while anyway since the start. So again, yeah, Canadian small cap with news high volume. Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah, we don't really get that, but yeah, Sharif, what are you looking at there, brother?
I'm taking out BBAI here, Joseph. It broke VWAP and it's no longer valid as a trade for me. So we will lose about 8 pennies per share there. That's a bit of a tough one. We did take out quite a bit of it, but I did add at VWAP, so that got me in a little bit of trouble because of the ad. So we are done our trade on BBAI, but I'm quite happy with how this QBTS trade has gone. We got in at 632, still waiting at 88s for the top there. SIDU as well, really did well on this one. I'm still holding it, but I've moved my stop now to account for this area dip. So we initially got in SIDU on the break of the $0.50, did add into that third, and then we took the majority of the position on the break of 60s, still waiting though at 69, and still keeping this one and optimistic about it because of the higher low situation. So last time we got into about 3 1/4, a little bit above 3 1/5. Now it looks like we're holding the low at 3 1/3. So I'm keeping my eye on SIDU. I've only got 2 more trades on. I was holding 4. Now we're holding SIDU and QBTS. QBTS is still putting in those higher lows. So I'm only lamenting here not having added on QBTS because we took out some of the position over here on this one. So keeping my eye out on these two here. CIFR. I've had this one on the side chart for a hot minute. It just got into the high day again. Now it's had a lot of trouble here. This high 730s, maybe, yeah, in the high 730s, $7.30, like 38, 39, in and around there. It's been rejecting that level every time it builds up to it. That's on the negative side of things. The positive side of things is it's got a lot of bottoming tail candles into the 10 exponential, showing you that buyers are picking this up on the dips. In addition to that, it's got higher lows. So you may have, that 740, 7 high 30s flat top, but you've also got the higher lows. So not only are you seeing buyer exuberance being denoted here by these bottoming tail candles, but you're also seeing buyer exuberance shown by the higher lows on every successive trough. So CIFR looking real good, looking awfully bull flaggish. This is kind of your prototypical bull flag right now on CFIR. But we'll talk about these and more when we get back from Madeira.
Small cap segment here during the lunch variety. What we do is we sit here, we take a look at the IWM and some tickers. IWM up about 0.8% right now, finding nice support. Actually, this previous post-market support level here at 234, so nice look for this one. Now trying to hold on to 235, so let's see if IWM can continue this climb to the upside. Also in watch here is TNXP, which is a penny stock, up about 45 cents right now. Not any news on this. And interestingly enough, nothing that really screams short squeeze here. About 0.85% short float, so less than 1% of the float is sold short, and with a market cap of $84 million. Then we also have CDU. This is CETA Space, SIDU. This one's been on watch before. This is not its first rally. Float of 3.97 million shares here, market cap of $29 million, with a short float of 3.63%. And last but not least, this is Rich Tech Robotics. This is a robotics company. Tends to run in sympathy with some of these AI names. Right now, no new catalyst, but it's up about 22% with a short float of 5.16% and a float of 33.3 million shares. Plus, these small cap partners to keep an eye on today. Make sure you vote in the poll. Just buy long or short and stay tuned at 1 p.m. for our next poll when you'll have the next 4 options to choose from for the afternoon rundown. Back to the Bash Brothers.
Thank you very much, Adara. Yes, that SIDU has been good to me, but it may no longer be that way, Joseph. We're going to have to wait and see, because if this higher low situation doesn't hold and we break that area trough that we had at 3 1/4, 3 1/5, that's going to be the end of it there. So look to, put those higher lows in, but if they're not forthcoming, they're not forthcoming. Let's look at some of the MAG. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, I haven't been looking at the MAG like in, I don't know, a month, maybe more. And I haven't been trading these small cap gappers, but let's have a look at them, because the MAG is definitely in play. The MAG 7 are definitely in play today. The rocket ship, aka Tesla, 460.52 every day. We've been looking at this bad boy up here, and it's been yet another all-time high. Elon with the gamble of the century there. Obviously, backstopping Donald Trump's, a campaign, and it's paid off in spades, baby. 460.52, currently at 457 and a third right now with TSLA. But goggles, let's put some respect on goggles' name as well with their Willow chip. They're right back at all-time highs again. I believe this is all-time highs, 197.97 right now, and it's been a beautiful looking chart, very bull flaggish, and you can't say that often about these MAG 7s. Very like that big move up right at the midday there. We double bottomed at 10 o'clock, and it hasn't looked back since. Higher highs, really. Higher lows, not necessarily big movement or big space between each successive high. So I don't want to say a flat top, but it looks like that 198 is acting as a bit of a resistance level. Completely opposite for NVIDIA. So you look at Google's chart, and NVIDIA's chart looks like the exact opposite, which is in the bottom right corner of my screen. Sorry, let me move the ticker so you guys can have a look. Looking awfully flat bottom breakish over here at this 130.42. Obviously, you short this at your own peril. Intraday, obviously, it's a different story, but I'm talking about these swing shorts because, the monster NVIDIA, anything, it can flip the switch on you in a hot second, but it's been putting in lower lows with that flat bottom at 130 and a half. a bit of a weaker day for NVDA. Adara brought a headline to us earlier with respect to Donald John Pump and META, and I guess maybe he didn't speak, or he spoke about TikTok. I don't know, and I don't want to say in a good way, but yeah, maybe that kind of puts a kibosh on the TikTok tailwind that Meta's been riding, but it's still up 0.6 on the day, so not a bad look there. And the Future, I mean, what can you say about the Future? We took out 22,000 like it didn't even matter. We didn't even stop at 22,000, Joseph. We completely took out 22,000 like it was just another level, like going through, I don't know, 21,950. It didn't matter. 22,066.75, the high of the day on the NQ December contract. Don't forget, guys, that we're rolling over to a new contract by the end of this week. We roll over on Fridays, right, Katina, man? It might be soon. Let's have a look to see what the new contract is doing in terms of volume. So currently on the NQ December contract, we have 390,000 contracts traded on the day. Let's find out what the NQ futures, here we go. Is that the E-mini? No, I think I typed it in wrong. So NQ, come on computer, you can do it. There it is, NQ March. No, we still have more volume today on the December contract than we do have the March, but the December contract is only by a hair. 275,000 contracts on the March, 309,000 contracts on the March. So the March one going to overtake, it looks like, the December contract soon in terms of volume. And that's what Neil tells me to switch. He's like, keep an eye on the volume. And obviously, once the newer contract does more volume, switch over to that. So it could be just a hot minute, Joseph, until we switch, and markedly different levels. So the reason we talk about the switch, because you got the NQ December contract, Joseph, 22,066 right now, but you have the March contract, 22,360. It doesn't make much of a difference, but the point level is different.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't disagree with that, Sharif. But a lot of people in the chat are talking about your quantum computing stock at QUBT. Absolutely soaring now, trading north of $10.
Well, I'm in BTS. I'm in the wrong one, bro.
Yeah, but you were in this before, weren't you?
No, I'm in this one right now.
Okay, I thought you were.
It's just not.
I thought you were in it before.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, like look at this 5-minute chart here on QUBT. Again, there's hardly any breaths in this thing, so any dip is being bought up, and then this massive volume spike supporting this candle here. So that's a genuine move to the top side on QUBT. We really like that look. That thing is absolutely phenomenal. Let's see what NVDA is up to. Again, just hovering around, raining on the parade, being its old dull soap as of late. But again, I think it will recover at some point. It's just been on such a monster run for so long. This is totally understandable, the way that it's been trading for the past month or so. So again, like we'll just look at this from a broader perspective here, and we're gonna zoom out and just see what we're up from earlier in the year. So again, let's see if early 24, yeah, bang there. Let's see where we're sitting at from a percentage metric. Okay, it doesn't want to work. That's totally fine. But again, we just went on this monster run from about $40 here, pre-split, and then all the way, our post-split, and then all the way up to 151 there. So yeah, bang. What do you got going on there, my guy? Your cheers. So yeah, we had a 107 breached on Bitcoin as well, too, guys. Still hovering around these levels, but we got that poll up, only 450 votes.
That's not enough, Joseph.
No, we got to get those votes up. We got to get 1,000 there at least, right? So get those votes and get your votes. I do like this where we stand, but we might be in a little bit of trouble because we do usually know what side the chat favors, Sharif. If we double top or triple top up here on the SPY and we decide that we want to go long and it rejects, we might get stopped out real quick here. So what we need, guys, and I've seen someone in the chat say this as well too, is we need NVDA to participate, and then it can possibly give the overall market a little boost. Even though the Qs are trading fantastic, it's the Qs that are trading better than the SPY, but I think that NVDA can help boost that. I want to take a look at some of the sector ETFs as well too. My favorite being XLF. Looking at that, yeah, and a little bit of a choppy mess here from an intraday standpoint on XLF, just trading in this range. We have definitive support levels with those lower highs. So let's see what happens and which way this decides it wants to break on XLF, because I always keep an eye out on the financials and try to correlate it with the spider as well too, guys. So PLTR making a move to the top side, I see in the chat. Let's take a look at PLTR. Yeah, it's starting to trade towards the volume weighted average price. Let's see if anything can start buying, man. Do your part. Greg, you start buying and do your part. I know you want to. You start buying that dip on NVDA because we've been preaching that for the past little while. Well, we were talking about getting in at 99s, and then we never did. But it hit 99 for like a couple of seconds in the aftermarket, and we're like, do we grab it? And then no, sure enough, we did not. We chickened out of that one. But again, I think there'll be another time that we can get involved in this stock. XOXL looks pretty good. Yeah, I used to have some of that in LT, but then I was like, I'm not supposed to own this for too long. We got a nice little pop on that earlier in the summer and then sold that off as well too, guys. So let's see what's going on with IBIT and see if we can continue to the northeast. Bitcoin still hovering around that 107 price target. Now, there goes the pop on SPY, guys. SPY broke that resistance level. Really nice on SPY, continuing to move. Let's see if that volume steps in here once we broke that resistance. Let's see if we can go and press 607 halves there, Sharif. What do you got going on?
I'm yelling with the people in the chat, man. We're yelling bang. First of all, the Katina man is long Apple at 250. So he's already printing 50 pennies in the money on that as Apple yet another day with attempts at all-time highs. We're also looking at Google.
That's all-time highs there.
It's all-time highs as well, Joseph. Okay. 198 and dang 19. So the Meg's in vogue, baby. Amazon into all-time highs. We got Google, we got Tesla, we got Apple. So it's a nice time. It's a nice time.
It's a nice time. I think the cash cow is one of my favorite.
It is.
Yeah,
there he is. Yeah. He's moseying on up.
Yeah, I like that.
For some reason, he explodes with money, but that's fine.
Hey, we like money explosions.
He's too full of money, says the Katina. He's printing too much.
Yeah, and then it's raining on him too. So it's just like an exuberant amount of money.
I love that, bro.
An exuberant amount of money.
This guy is killing the exuberant. I love it. All right, guys. Joseph, we're doing well here on these small cap gapper trades. So let's talk about SIDU. What kept me optimistic when it dropped into that 3 1/3 was that 3 1/3 was a higher low because its previous trough was 3 1/4. So I was like, okay, look, it's coming down. It didn't take out the print where you wanted it, but you still have a higher low. Stay committed to the trade. So I did, and we just took out 75s. Now I'm going to sit into the high areas. I'm going to sit at 88s because it's a lucky number. Okay, so we're going to wait here at 88s on SIDU. But I see you, Malinowski. He's got QBTS as well, and he's doing real good. QBTS or QUBT? Let me just double check what he said there. For QUBT. Okay, so I didn't take QUBT. I was a schmuck, and I took QBTS. And now I was waxing poetic about how their charts were identical. Well, when I waxed poetic, that was the case. That has since changed. So now you've got QUBT breaking into all-time highs, into day's highs at 1035. Great squeeze there through $9, through $10. It's been insanely respectful of the 10 exponential. I mean, tell me this is not a buy program just hugging the price action into the 10. It doesn't even breach the 10, guys. So fantastic look right now on QUBT. It was a similar look on QBTS. Then it changed. Then it all changed after that. Now it's holding the 20. I'm still in the money on it. I don't want to take it out in case this one catches a squeeze as well. This one's up 30%. QUBT up 52%. So we really are diverging now in terms of price action. CIFR continues to go. I was really worried about this one having a bit of a flat top at 735, but the operative port here was the higher lows, and that did end up being the bigger thing to focus on because you got that 7 1/3 break and take like it didn't even matter. Now we're looking at 7 2/3, 760, the high of the day now on CFIR, and every time I look, there's a new high of day. It's a 6 candle green setup right now on the 5-minute on CFIR, and it keeps taking out highs, bro. Keep going, CFIR, 25% on the day. Big boy moves here. It's a small cap gapper world, baby, and we just living in it. So, hey, get it, Katina, man. Baby. So that's what we're looking at right now. SIDU, QBTS, QUBT, they're all going. CIFR. We even have Bison. I don't know what this one does. I don't care much, Joseph, but it's up 35%, and it's worth and it's working into the highs. It's got umpteen amount of higher lows. Look at that. Beautiful higher lows. Look, it wasn't very respectful of the volume-weighted average price. It breached it like it didn't matter. And so to predict where the price action would find support on BZUN, a bit of a tougher endeavor than maybe some of its counterparts. But hey, you can't argue with higher lows, especially when it keeps giving it to you in spades like this. 377 HOD. We're printing 67s right now. So we're awfully close into that high of the day. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Every time I go back to my large cap charts, Apple's at another all-time high. I couldn't be happier, obviously, with this one being the big boy in the swing trade. But I also want to let you guys know.
You could be 20% high.
Wow. You just had to come at me.
I had to get that one, man. I had to.
This guy.
I had to, man. I had to.
Look,
you're
keeping me honest. You're keeping me honest, right? Next time I want to sell 20% of a position, I'm going to have to think about this,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. You know that I'm going to be breathing down your neck. So.
What a guy.
Continue, Mike.
All right, no, but seriously, though, I also want to let you guys know that Pan Dub is now, we are now post-split. Is no longer $400 name anymore, baby. We're $199.30. Palo Alto Networks has completed the split, and so some of your charts may be distorted as a result of the split. This, that, and the other. What is it up? It's up 1 1/3 on the day. What's up, Neil? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. So yeah, Pan W, Palo Alto Networks. It's split. It's a 2-to-1 split, by the way, guys. Not really that matters a whole lot in terms of. It doesn't matter at all in terms of market cap this, but it does make it more appealable to the retail traders, and I don't even understand why. Because on my platform, you can buy partial shares. I'm pretty sure you can get partial shares with most brokerages now, yet this still has an effect, the splitting effect of dragging or enticing retail traders to join in. Whatever their cause, baby, if you guys want to punch long Pan Dub, I'm all eyes and ears, and I'll absolutely champion that because this is the second largest holding in the swing account, Palo Alto Networks. Now, Joseph, done. It's split 199.40.
Beautiful stuff there, Sri. Mara is breaking out kind of on the daily. It's putting in a nice intraday session as well, too. Held VWAP beautiful right here, guys. They're on that 2450 level. A beautiful hammer, rejects VWAP, and then goes and makes a new high a day. So that's a beautiful, genuine move there on Mara. I really like that. But I mentioned, we were talking, Obi and I were slightly just talking about this in the back earlier in the morning. It's like, I don't really love the miners just because, like, look, compare this to a MicroStrategy chart and then a Bitcoin chart. So I think that the better trades are within the underlying itself, not the people who are mining it. So again, a bit of a tougher look on Mara, but as of today, it's trading really well, breaking some key support resistance levels as well too. So let's see if it can finally continue and push to break this 30 mark. I know someone in the chat said, hey, I think it can break 30 soon. Well, let's see, because we are a mile off of the all-time highs there, folks. So it is not anywhere close. We're in a little bit of trouble there with
Nice.
Mara still down a whopping almost 70% from that all-time high mark. So hopefully no one in the chat is bag holding all the way up to 83. Money, what do you got going on there, Katina, man?
The Katina man short AMD and long Apple.
Hey.
So he's long Apple at 250.02. So I looked over to him to say you're about to be $1 in the money because every time I look at Apple, we're another all-time high, 250.71. Yeah. He also took AMD short, the advanced money destroyer, Joseph. You're short at the top, Katina man. He's short 127.63. So let's have a look at the advanced money destroyer over here and see what the situation is with this one. So this is the 5-minute on AMD. Let's do a little bit of charting right now. The Katina man getting in essentially at the pre-market range top. So it's a good entry there, predictable range or predictable area to say, okay, we definitely rejected off here in the pre. Look at that. So all these prints from around, let's say, 625 to that institutional level print at 8 a.m. all topped out right at this level here, 127, mid-70s, low 80s. You guys get it. The Katina man short, the advanced money destroyer. It's up 0.45 on the day. It closed out on Friday just south of that $127 area at 126.90 or so. That's what it looks like there on AMD. So keep an eye out on that, up 0.46 on the day. But I'm being told that Joseph's got to pay some bills, baby.
Got to pay some bills, baby. Let's get it rolling. Trade the pool. Trade the Pool allows stock traders like you to get evaluated and trade real shares using the company's capital with no PDT rule holding you back. Trade the Pool has just launched a limited edition program for a one-time fee of just $300. You'll receive $80K in buying power and the chance to become a funded trader. Hit a profit target of just 4%, and you'll start trading with the company's capital. Get funded faster and easier with the new conditions designed for success. And the best part is the profit split has been upgraded to a generous 70%, so you keep more of what you earn. Don't wait. Check it out now and see how Trade the Pool can help you trade bigger and most definitely better. All right, guys, so there it is. The QR code is in the description. And, hey, scan it. Scan it. That's what QR codes are for. Scan that QR code and see what's going on. Sign up and see if you can beat the challenge to become a funded trader. But, yeah, guys, continue to let me know what's cooking. NVDA, yeah, it's looking like it's going to break some key support levels here. It already has that 132 I mentioned not too long ago, kind of forming somewhat of a head and shoulders here on NVDA. So again, continuing on that southeast movement. Let's see what it's doing from an intraday standpoint. I thought it was going to slowly start to curl around, but that has not been the case. So we have that. We have a support level here with those lower highs. Let's see what it manages to do. If we can hold 130, then maybe we get a little bit of a bounce. But as of right now, I would not be expecting any immediate buy programs to be stepping in on NVDA, especially where it stands at from a technical standpoint on the daily. I think this is slightly bearish stock right now until we get some turnaround signals, guys. I'm gonna try avoiding this thing. I mention this and I preach all the time is that I think there's going to be better trades than trading this thing, and I'm just kind of had it up to almost here, had it up to past my head with trying to milk NVDA, especially when it's not in play. So I'm going to avoid this one, folks, because I just think there's so much better going on, and there is, because Mara's trading higher, AMD is kind of holding those highs, but we have Google and Apple also part of the Mag 7 making those all-time highs as well too, guys. So we got a lot of stocks continuing to trade higher. Someone in the chat says GME is running. Let's see. I wouldn't call that. I'd call that a light jog, maybe. But again, let's see what's going on with GME. We know that anything can happen if RC decides that he wants to tweet anything. Then you know the frenzy that can happen with that one. So it's like everybody's on catnip once the roaring kitty decides to decides to tweet something. So Bitcoin's starting to pull in a real heavy candle here, guys. I observed this before. Let's see how this prints. If this becomes kind of like an isolated volume signature with some heavy selling volume, let's see if we reject this and then we can continue to move higher. But as of right now, this can say, hey, we're slowly starting to curl over. I think 60/40s is potentially a next target for IBIT if it does decide that it wants to break some of these key support levels. Yeah, I mean, vivid distortion. We can find some other things clearly to trade. GME is light running. Yeah, it's a light jog. You know what I mean? It's something I had to do this morning to make the train on time. Was a nice little light jog because leaving the house slightly late, but that's okay. What's going on with RCL? Let's take a look at RCL. Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. Ooh, e-liquid selling a little bit here. We'll talk a little bit, but it's not the most liquid stock as presented. You can see here, and let's take a look at it from a daily perspective. Trading higher. I mean, I wouldn't be too judgmental of this thing. Look at this run it's been on. Wow. Okay, I didn't even know this. This is fantastic. But yeah, again, a totally healthy breath up here. Look at this run. So unfortunately, you can't just go parabolic all the time. You need to breathe a little bit, pull back, some profit taking, sell, and then maybe you can get that second leg higher. But as of right now, that it's a beautiful looking stock, and surprisingly, I didn't have my eyes on it too often. I don't watch too much of the cruise lines. CCL once in a while, and RCLH I think is the other one. But yeah, other than that, cruise lines. Have you ever been on a cruise?
I've never actually been on a cruise in my life.
No, yeah, me neither. Never.
I really want to go on a cruise, just haven't been on one.
Yeah,
we were supposed to organize one with the fam, and it was supposed to happen last what's it called, Christmas. And then we had a situation where one of the family members with work couldn't do it, so we all kind of did out of respect.
So you got to get it out of the group chat then soon.
We got to kick him out of the group chat.
No, not kick him out. No, you got to get it out of the group chat. Like get the trip. You know, you ever see those memes where it's like the trip is finally out of the group chat? Yeah, you know what I mean? So you got to get out of the group chat there. But yeah, guys.
I want to mention this one, though, Joseph,
sure. Go ahead.
because I see Green Hub analysis on SOXL, please. So first, I want to tell you that I was really doing a deep dive into semis this weekend. I did a deep dive into quantum. I want to understand what kind of investments would be sound for quantum computing. And in that whole thing, I got into some of the ETFs. I'm talking specifically about SOXL and SMH. 251.06 Apple all-time highs. It took out that one level. Somebody's spinning the dollar club because they're in a dollar in the money. Shout out to the Katina Man, long 250.02. But Katina Man, I want to talk about SOXL here for a second. The reason I have the Fundamentals Explorer on, this is the holdings of SOXL, the ETF. And I'll submit to you that this is not the best vehicle to get in. Not financial advice, but let me make my case. They're holding a lot of cash here, guys. Their first two holdings, number 1 and number 2, are government bonds, 16.5%, or treasuries, I should say. 16.5%, the Dreyfus Treasury Security, and then the 8.65% Dreyfus government cash. Finally, their third largest holding is NVIDIA. And then they're holding another semiconductor index, ICE Semiconductor Index 6.93. Then they have Broadcom. Again, they have treasuries, JP Morgan 100% US treasuries. And then they had AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. But 4 of the top 10 holdings here are actually cash or government treasuries in a semiconductor ETF. What is this? 2023, bro, what are you doing? So now, by comparison, this is what we're looking at here, top 5 only. Have a look at SMH. Everything they're holding is a semiconductor. So let's go to holdings. NVIDIA, Taiwan Semi, Broadcom, AMD, Texas Instruments, ASML, Qualcomm, Applied Materials, Intel, Micron. Every single holding is an actual microchip semiconductor company or related to the industry. So SOXL, in my humble opinion, if you're looking for a vehicle to actually get exposure to the semiconductor market, I don't know if SOXL is the right look.
No, it's not. It's also 3x leverage, right?
3x leverage.
Right? So the decay on that will just...
And there's also the ETF decay that also kills you on that one.
Yeah, on the leverage.
I just don't understand why they're holding cash. Is that part of the leverage issue?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because I have no idea. In any event, it's not one for me. I personally didn't like it as a pure play. I'm looking at my side chart, and it looks like Apple is now squeezing, and this looks like a bit of a short squeeze. I don't know how you feel about this, Katina Man, but this is quite an aggressive move up here for the dead one. Apple doesn't typically trade in this fashion where it squeezes like this, but we are moving. 251 and a dang third on Apple, up 1 1/4. I couldn't be more pleased. There's a couple of headlines today for Apple. Obviously, we know Timmy C was at Mar-a-Lago, aka White House number 2. He met with Donald Trump. Elon Musk was at that dinner. He tweeted about it separately. We got wind last week that Apple, Broadcom in business with one another to possibly make chips. Advanced AI chips for inference, I believe, not for training. So that's another headline. And then obviously today we got information that the Wall Street Journal is reporting, at least the WSJ is reporting, that Apple now looking at creating foldable smartphones as well as possible foldable tablets. Don't expect them next year. Slated the earliest opportunity, they're saying early 2026. We don't have any, obviously, confirmation from the company, as it is kind of their way not to confirm or deny these upcoming products. But AAPL, a dang rocket ship on the day. I'm looking over here. I want to see where the market cap is on the monster Apple, and it is now $3.8 trillion. We could see $4 trillion awfully soon. NVIDIA has pulled back a little bit from the valuation race, now printing $3.2 trillion.
You had
I had
memorized.
NVIDIA?
You had first. Yeah. You had
This is one of
NVIDIA
those cases
first.
where I'm okay being
Yeah, no, totally,
I'm
absolutely,
okay being
man.
wrong
Yeah,
with this one.
1,000%. Sharif, we
Go ahead.
decided to get in some of this NVDA
Yes,
to
sir.
see if we can slowly start to turn around here. Again, I don't expect too much, so I'm not going to give it too much room. I'm back in some IBA as we continue to push here, but we do seem a little bit squeezy. So on the overall indexes here, so indices, whatever you would like to call it. But again, guys, here we are in NVDA. Let's see if we can go and test VWAP around 132 bucks, 131.77. We'll call it there. So nice curl around here. We held those support levels very well. So let's see if we can get it to the ball to start rolling on this stock. Guys, continue to let us know. Hopefully this is an exhaustion volume on Apple because, again, it's my smallest holding in my long term. But again, it's doing absolutely fantastic and we're positioned really well in this stock. So I'm happy that this is happening. And again, from a volume standpoint, we're sitting pretty. So I don't think this is going to be exhaustive at all. So I'm going to continue to hold on to this Apple position. I really like Apple, going to continue to like Apple for the foreseeable future. Let's just hope that this foldable phone doesn't fall into the realm of the Apple vehicle with a bunch of money being spent on the Apple car, billions that is. So hopefully that they can drop some new product because, again, they kind of just need to get, if they can involve Apple Intelligence with that new, that kind of foldable phone, then I think that can just add more to this company's market cap. Totally, with Dan Ives saying that this is going to be the first $4 trillion market cap from a stock perspective in the near future. So we're going to continue to monitor Apple as we are on the ascent. Yeah, but guys, we're holding on to this NVDA. I'm going to take a little bit off here, guys, and then we're going to send it off to Adara.
Back? Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. We're going to talk a little bit here about crypto here. MSTR up about 6 1/3%. So before we get into the crypto coins, I think it's worth talking once again about MicroStrategy, which is up about 585% year to date. This one has now just been invited to join here. The NASDAQ 100 is going to be joining that index as of December 23rd. Before the bell, along with Palantir and Axon. So another great milestone for MicroStrategy, which just announced here that they actually have now $27 billion plus worth of Bitcoin holdings after adding another 15,000 worth this morning, as of this morning here announced. So great look here for MicroStrategy to cap off a pretty exciting year for the stock, which included a stock split going back to August. We also had Michael Saylor basically lobbying for Microsoft to add Bitcoin to its balance sheet last week in a meeting. So MicroStrategy definitely still in watch. Shout out to Michael Saylor and co. Here's Bitcoin. This is at a new all-time high here above that 107,000 level. It's a great look here on the daily chart. Once we push past that resistance around 101, 102, we really haven't looked back as of yet. Let's see what we do here. I think one potential area of possible support, if we do drop a little bit, could be that 104 area. That was previous all-time highs. Let's take a look at Ethereum as well, which has been pretty strong on the day. Ethereum actually trying to take out previous resistance on the daily chart around that 4,000 area. Right now we're at 4,000 to 41. The next resistance area would be just a little bit above that, around 4,067. So let's see if this is an area we're able to cross. And last but not least, I want to take a look at XRP to USD because we did have Ripple announcing that their RLUSD stablecoin is going to be launched as of tomorrow, and they're going to have more updates coming through early 2025. What a bull flag here for XRP, which has benefited not only from the election of Donald Trump, which was viewed as very pro-crypto, but also from the announcement that Gary Gensler is going to be resigning from the SEC. As we know here, Ripple or XRP and the SEC have had a little bit of a battle. So great look here for Ripple. Let's see if we can take out this previous resistance at 260. Back to you guys.
I'll consider it.
I wanna shout out Wes Wesial. Thank you, Wes Wesial, for making this point. Let's show what we're talking about here. So I was talking about SOXL, which is a levered ETF. Here's the non-levered iShares semiconductor ETF, SOXX.
Oh, nice.
And then you don't see any treasuries involved in this one. This one is a pure semiconductor microchip play. Each and all their top holdings, I can only see the top 10 over here. They're all pure plays. Nothing is a treasury-based, cash-based. So it looks like that was specific to their leverage ETF. I don't know why they do that, but again, I don't design ETFs, so it's beyond my scope of comprehension. Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that because if I'm going to show something, might as well be accurate about it. So SOXX has a pure play here, microchip semiconductor ETF. All right, let's look at some of the trades that we've been involved in because we've been talking about other stuff rather than the trades that we're in. I'm still very pleased with the look on SIDU here, SIDU. Every time we're putting in a bit of a higher low, I still have gone unprinted at 388s, despite the fact that we've been up into the 3 low 80s. I still like the look of this one's jib, looking for it to squeeze possibly above that $4 area. Technically on the day, we have a 398 HOD, but very respectful in terms of momentum, putting in consecutively higher lows. QBTS, the other one we're involved in. This one, not such a rosy picture. We're nicely in the money on it. Where are we long? 32s, it's printing 53s, but look, it's stuck in a sideways consolidation and not really showing me what I need to see to say, okay, well, the momentum's still headed to the high side. I'm not seeing any higher highs. I'm not seeing any higher lows. I'm seeing a really established range with about 6 1/3 or 640 to the low side and about 660 to 6 2/3 to the high side. So we're caught in a bit of a range, and we've been in that range, Joseph, since we took out that level earlier on at around 1130. Sure, you got up into that 685, and I was able to weasel a couple of prints there, but that was the exception as opposed to the as opposed to the rule where it keeps establishing that range. 660, 6 2/3 to the high side, 640, 6 1/3 to the low side here on QBTS. Still decent day for it today, up 31%, but it pales in comparison to its better looking cousin over here, QUBT. Even when this one pulls back, it still looks better than QBTS. Look at this. Weasels up to 1085, comes back down. Awfully respectful of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. You don't have a closing print below that. You do wick a few times into that 975 area, but every time you dipped into 9 3/4, you got bought up, and now we're knocking the door of 1050. So great move up with that HOD still at 1085. You're getting higher lows. You're not getting necessarily kind of that parabolic effect that it had at around 1230 or 1245, but you're still getting that consistent higher low pattern showing you that the momentum is still to the upside on this one. Now, CIFR, I was awfully interested in this one. I missed my entry at 7 2/3, 740 area. That doesn't mean it's all over. Number one, it found initial support at 7.5. That 7.5 is interesting to me because it's also the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. And that's where I like to get in with these small cap gappers when they pull back a smidge. So I'm keeping my eye on that. If it makes a new 5-minute candle to make a new high at this 760 area, I'm all eyes and ears and will look to punch long. On the other side of that coin, if it breaks the 10 exponential and breaks that 750 area here on CIFR, I'm looking at that 735 to 740 area as an area I'd like to get in. Reason is because that was the flat top that we kept rejecting. So if it was resistance, I'm looking for it to act as support. We'll see what this one does. But Joseph, I got to tell everybody.
Gotta tell them.
The new poll is now out, and some would say this second poll better than the first. You got Apple. You got SMCI. And I think this is the first time we've ever put Walmart on there, but it absolutely deserves to be on. Walmart is a rocket ship, and I did not anticipate this. Walmart's on there, and Palantir. Joseph, which one are you voting for?
You know what? Voted for Apple, my guy. Voted for Apple. I should have voted for Walmart now that I think about it, but hey.
Palantir's getting all the love right now, and I can get that.
Alex Corp and Palantir. Yeah, but yeah, guys, sorry, just real quick before we send it off to Adara, you know what time it is. It's time for that trade of the day, Sharif. And I already, you were busy. You were busy. I logged it.
You did it already?
Yeah, you were busy.
You did it without me?
Yeah, I know, man. I feel bad. But you were on a roll here. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to make sure the people got their, but again, I promise, because the look you just gave me, now I'm not going to be able to sleep well. So that won't happen again. I will interrupt you next time and make sure that document. We're doing good. We're on fire. Up a whopping 112 paper dollars there as a collective unit, guys. So really, really good look on this trade so far. Let's dock this second one. 607.39 is our entry price. We're looking for 609.39, and then we have a stop loss of 606.39 as well, too, guys. But again, I will never ever skip out on Sharif docking this. Again, now I feel absolutely horrible, but we're going to send it off to Adara.
An eye here on GOOGL here, Alphabet. OpenAI announcing that their ChatGPT search will now be available for all global users for free. So now why this is key is because sometimes when we get any search-related announcements from ChatGPT, they actually send Google to the downside. Not much of a reaction here, but keep an eye on GOOGL as ChatGPT search is now apparently available for all global users for free. Back to the Bash Brothers.
Clearly. I was telling the Katina man that Gemini 2.0, as I mentioned to you guys earlier, really being spoken well about online. I personally haven't used it. We're going to give it the community college try tomorrow. I'm going to use it for my reviewing instead of ChatGPT. We're going to do that for a week, see if it's a real deal. Separately, I want to bring you guys in on a little tidbit that I came across the other day. It's called AI Studio. AI Studio, yep. Studio.google.com. Now, the reason that's cool, this is cool, it gives you access to all the different models that they've ever had, and it gives you a lot of different functions, code execution, structured output, like there's a bunch of stuff on there. I'm not going to go through all the different settings that you can do, but there's a lot of stuff that you can play with that you can't necessarily have access to when you're using Gemini regular. And over here on the top right, you'll see all the different models. They've got stuff in preview. They have older models. You can select from any of these ones. So it's kind of cool. It came to me on my favorite social media platform, TikTok, obviously, and you get a plethora of different options and different features that you can use with this more advanced LLM. I guess it's not, I shouldn't call it more advanced LLM. It's more just for developers. So it's aistudio.google.com, gives you a better format than just going to Gemini. This would be the regular LLM right here. You obviously don't have as much in terms of options and stuff like that. So aistudio.google.com. Joseph, just want to let everybody know.
Yeah, good stuff there, Sharif. We have a good question in the chat by Josh J. Joe, any targets for IWM swing rebound play? I took January monthly calls with a 234 strike. If we push through 235-ish, I see another run to 239. Okay, so I just want to point out one key thing. We do have Fed and the FOMC on Wednesday. Okay, we know that small caps are really rate sensitive, so keep that in mind.
Dang.
So let's see what happens with the announcement, with the meeting, see what Jay Powell, I think the street is kind of pricing in a 25 basis point cut, which is totally reasonable. You're sitting on the 234s, you say, and they expire in January. I think right now you're okay, but don't forget you don't have that much time left. I don't know how you bought them in or out the money, but time value will start to chew up the value of those contracts, especially leading into January. You only have a couple weeks left. So you're going to see that time decay really start to kick in again. But Wednesday is a really important moment for these small caps, I believe, coming up shortly. So again, keep an eye, a good look on that. But again, you got time that's working against you as of right now, and then you got to wait for the FOMC. We do have these key pivotal moments here as well. Isolated pivot. Decided to go lower, covering some gap here. But again, wait till Wednesday, see what that brings, and then reassess from that standpoint. But guys, Google is continuing to trade higher, making new all-time highs again through this intraday session. Going to, I don't know if it's going to happen, but if it pushes for 200, that's going to be absolutely insane. This is my second largest holding in my account, and it is like buzzing isn't even the word for it right now. We need something extremely more vast than that to explain what has been going on the past couple of days, especially with Google and Tesla just absolutely dragging this market higher and higher and higher, as well as Apple. So again, those are my three holdings, right? I got IBIT, Tesla, Google, and Apple.
Unreal.
So yeah, this is absolutely unreal. I don't really know what to say, but it's exciting times. We've mentioned this time and time again. Sharif, Katina Man, Brando, we all said I think this is time to be risk on in the markets, and we continue to move so in that direction, making all-time highs. But I guess this is a part of the Christmas rally. So again, this is fantastic stuff. This is what the markets are kind of really all about.
Yeah, and you love to see it, man. You love to see it. I don't know, man. I would say the majority of people are more long bias and short bias? Unless
Well,
you're
our poll
big
says
Spile
that.
Burdett,
Yeah,
maybe.
Mr. Big
is
Spile,
the-
but I mean,
we love him, but he, you know,
we do a poll every day, and we've been long pretty
every-
much every trade.
the
Yeah,
SPY every day.
every day we've been long the SPY. Yeah. The closest was like 55-45, and other than that, it's been a complete landslide. So.
Here we go. So let's have a look at the Mag 7 because there's stuff afoot right now. So Meta broke and took VWAP, and it's quite aggressively moving to the high side. META looking awfully rounded bottomish. The NOS boss would be very impressed with this pattern right here with a 620 hold. I believe that was the low, the closing print on Friday, right around that 620 area. You got a triple bottom with respect to closing prints right around that 620 area. We're looking at that area though, that 620. In the rear view, baby, because we're at 626 and a half. The implied balance high that we printed right at 930 there takes us all the way to 631. So META breaking out from the volume weighted average price and doing an aggressive green candle move into that 627 area. Separately, NVDA tried to kind of do that 130 and a half hold and tried to work through the volume weighted average price. It did go into 132, but it was a topping tail into 132, and then down below VWAP we go. But we didn't give up the ghost because this candle kind of looks the opposite of its predecessor. It's bottoming tail rather than topping tail. So a bit of a fight right now happening between buyers and sellers on NVIDIA at VWAP. Adara's at the big desk.
Tesla here. I'm seeing this report from Electrek circulating on social media. We're noting this is actually published. It looks like, I guess around now here, 10:08 a.m. Pacific time, so about 1 p.m. Eastern time, basically. Apparently, Electrek reporting that brand new Teslas are experiencing some self-driving computer failures. Apparently, several people reported to Electrek that their brand new Teslas are already experiencing failures with their computers, and apparently the amount that this issue is popping up is actually overwhelming Tesla's service. So this is the article here from Electrek saying apparently that Tesla's having, quote, major issues with its self-driving computer and some of its newer vehicles. So potential FSD woes for TSLA, at least that's what's circulating around here, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting read. Thank you, Adara, for bringing that to our attention. Yep. Being reported by Electrek, which is, I guess that's like an EV magazine, EV website. We'll have to see exactly where they got their information from. But yeah, oftentimes this is stuff leaked by insiders. So insider sources told Electrek that the problem is quite wide-ranging. It affects vehicles built over the last few months with the new computer. Say more. Now we know that Tesla has different versions of their hardware. Hardware 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, sensors and cameras that they're constantly upgrading on these models. With that, I'm assuming comes upgrades to the computer. So we're gonna have to see. Two sources said that Tesla is currently receiving a high number of complaints about this issue, and it has yet to release a service bulletin about it. Okay. One source said that Tesla service is being told to play down any safety concerns related to this problem to avoid people believing their brand new cars are not drivable. Okay. We're going to have to wait and see how this all pans out, but you never want to see that. Great reporting there from Adara letting us know that came in midday. Simultaneously, when that came in, your boy Jay Lee in the chat has a several dollar winner short on Tesla. Literally got the top there at 461, Joseph.
Yeah, the convenient timing there nonetheless. So congratulations on that front. Guys, we're still keeping our eyes out on NVIDIA. I want to point this out just in case if we do decide that we want to turn around, is this doji right above the volume weighted average price here. So again, printing right below the volume weighted average price. Let's see if that's a rejection candle. It is, I wouldn't call it overly isolated, but it is an outlier. It stands out from what has been trading for the past hour or so. So keep that in mind. This could be a potential turnaround signal on NVDA. Might head back south because, I mean, the market has been on an absolute tear. Look at the Qs on the session. This is absolutely insane. Just nothing but northeast here. So again, parabolic for the Qs, trading extremely well with Google and Apple leading the way, and Tesla also leading the way on this one. So again, the market's been trading fantastic. Let's see what happens here with NVDA. Decided that it wanted to come back and trade up to VWAP. So maybe we take a little bit more off the top. But Bitcoin is continuing to trade higher. 107 and change. They're going to knock on the door of 108 here shortly, I think, as IBIT trades around 61 and a quarter. So again, just an absolute phenomenal day. I wasn't expecting this at all, especially for, I guess it is Monday, but again, I wasn't expecting this type of rally that we've been seeing for the past couple of days. This Christmas rally is in full effect, I think, for the past couple of days. So again, guys, you can't ask for much more. Stay in those longs, protect that downside, and just try not to fight these trends because they're so strong and they continue to squeeze. So again, watch out for those shorts. You don't want to force anything, I don't think.
Hey, there he is. There's my man. All right. Shout out to the spiled one. Big style, Burdett. SPY coming into interesting area on daily. Could be getting into a potential short attempt area. Let's have a look at what the spiled one is talking about. We'll load up the SPY, the one that he trades. So we'll have a look at the SPY over here. He says it's on the daily. Coming into an interesting area on the daily. So let's flip to the daily over here on the SPY. Okay, so where are we at right now? Okay, let's move this over. Yeah, we're at Friday's highs. We're just about big spile. So Friday's high of the day, 607.16. Currently, our high is 607.42. With the current price action, I can't tell because the high of the day is covering it. So yeah, we're at the highs, big spile. So interesting over here. Let's have a look at see what else we've had other days. Joseph's punching the air over there, bro.
I'm pulling a U, man. Yeah, Shreve. I don't know, IBIT, man. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, continue.
No,
Sorry,
man.
yeah.
We'll wax poetic quickly, but this one we'll send it to you so we can get some excitement there. But yeah, big spile. Your point well taken. The high on the 11th there, 608.44, and then I believe this day. On the 16th takes us to all-time high 609.07. So yeah, we're definitely at the top end of the range here on the SPY. I've been talking to you guys about that 6,100 on the ES December contract every morning on the desk. And every morning, 6,100 by the end of the day has been resistance and 60.50 has been support. So your point well taken, Big Spal. We are in a range on the SPY, on the ES, and now we're towards the top end of that range. So point very well taken. It looks like Big Spile might be looking to set something up short. He says, look at the lower highs. Yes, you're not wrong, but the day is not done today in the sense that, well, we're above Friday's high. We're also above Thursday's high, but your point well taken with respect to Wednesday's high and last Monday's high as well. We are lower highs as compared to those days, only up 0.54. And again, there's been a marked difference between the NQ and the ES as of late. The NQ, case in point, up 1.43 today, the NQ December contract. Compare that to the ES December contract, up 0.53. So almost 1% in the green right now relative to the ES is the NQ. So you got to assume that that's likely because of the MAG 7 and tech in general. Guys, QUBT just won't stop going here. Can't stop, won't stop. Up into that 1163 on the day. Very respectful of the 10 exponential moving average. And I really wanted to work into this at $10, but I said to myself, you don't want too much exposure. Both trades, QUBT, QBTS, stay out of this one. And there you go, 11.75. This is really going here, taking out 2/3 of a dollar. It's up 73%, going on 74. Great respect right now for the 10 exponential moving average again on QUBT. It's been doing that all morning, and there is still not one closing print below the 10 exponential on QUBT. It wicks below it every now and again, but nothing has closed below it. And I just heard Neil mention this. Look at the volume. The volume is increasing now relative to 9:30, where you would assume there would be greater amounts of volume. No. So at 12:30, we had a big volume candle. 12:50, as well as the one that just finished closing right now at 1:15. So QUBT at the day's high, being supported by big boy volume. It's up 72%, really leaving QBTS, one I'm involved in right now, in its dust. 33%. These ones were looking the same when we started trading them. not the case anymore, Joseph.
Yeah.
CIFR coming back into an area I like.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there, Sharif. You know me, I like to always take a look into the sectors and see why we're moving or why we're not moving to the top side. So what I did was like, okay, so why is SPY kind of lagging behind the Qs pushing higher? So sure enough, I think this is part of the answer. I'm not saying it's the whole thing. But again, the energy sector is extremely weak today, putting in a pretty soft session so far. Let's see what we're down from the high of day here. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's only about 1.5%, but again, raining a little bit on the parade. But again, just taking a look from a sector breakdown, the SPY is 33% tech, 12% financial, and then 11% consumer cyclicals. Those are the top three sectors in the SPY. And then from the bottom up, we have the basic materials, real estate, and then utilities, okay? And then energy in fourth, and that's why I'm looking at this, because it is putting in a pretty weak day. So let's take a gander through some of these sector ETFs and to see why we might be a little bit lagging compared to the Qs. And sure enough, we have the healthcare sector putting in a red session as well too, guys. So, and then we'll look at XLU to see what the utilities are up to. But just keep in mind, when you are doing your morning analysis, look for these sectors and see which ones are the top performing, and then try to find the best performing stocks within those sectors. So this can help you break things down a little bit more nuanced, and then continue to find those stocks that are trending in that direction that you prefer. That can be, if it's to the south side, then fantastic. Look for the weak stocks. But if you're looking for those continuations in strength, find those strong sectors, and then find what's in those sectors is dragging it higher. So, for example, in the tech sector, we have Google and Apple trading higher, as well as Tesla. So that can give you a little bit of an explanation on why the Qs are extremely strong. And then you have other sectors like XLE and XLV who are a little bit lagging and putting in weak sessions onto why the SPY is slightly behind that one, guys. So do that due diligence in the morning. I do mine on the train, but again, I think it's only a matter of time until SPY makes a new all-time high. I think this Santa Claus rally, as they refer to, is going to continue until, I guess, the week of, which is Boxing Day coming up soon, or not, Christmas coming up soon before Boxing Day. But again, I think we continue to move higher. Like, look at this absolute phenomenal session that the Qs are putting in, Sharif. Just blowing past these all-time highs here of $501. That just feels like the other day. And essentially, we haven't looked back from that point, Sharif. So it's been fantastic. I can't emphasize enough how much I think that this is one of the better rallies going into the new year that I've seen in my
Joseph, there's some serious news here.
Okay, you should have stopped me a long time.
No,
Yeah,
it's not American news, but it's Canadian news. You can show my screen. So Justin Trudeau today, obviously we had some major resignations in the Canadian cabinet with the finance minister resigning, Chrystia Freeland. But now we are getting more information, Joseph, that Justin Trudeau is either considering proroguing Parliament, which is basically suspending Parliament, or he may resign. So this has been like...
Which one do you think would be better?
It's going to be hard to say. Well, I'm not going to...
No, not like that. No.
I'm just going to stay quiet with respect to that. But Joseph, this is major news. He's obviously been in power since 2015. A lot of people don't know any, like a lot of, newer or, younger people don't know much politics without him. So him resigning is news, and it wasn't one that I had pegged as a possibility. I thought he'd see this through to the end. So it looks like Justin Trudeau is considering resigning or proroguing Parliament, reports CTV News, which is as much mainstream media reliability as you're going to get around here. So
that's big. I mean,
we have to keep an eye on some Canadian stuff.
Well, we had multiple votes of no confidence that were kind of withheld to the NDP because of the NDP party. But again, interesting stuff as always, guys. But Bitcoin continuing to climb higher. Sharif, what do you got going on?
That's it. That's all I'm looking at. But I've got QBTS here, Joseph, because it's taking out highs again. So I was feeling bad about myself that I was not in QUBT, but QBTS finally breaking it out. And I've been waiting at 88s for a hot dang minute. So I'm not moving my order down. It either gets printed or I'm not taking it out. Here we go with 88. It's going to have to cross. Bang. There we go. We take it out there. So we're still holding some more. We're long at, where are we long? 32s. We take out some at 88. So let's see if we can get $1 on this one, if it can break 7. It's up 37%, but it's a better looking cousin, QUBT, looking a lot better. Doesn't matter if I'm involved in this one or not. This is the better looking one right now. QUBT, about to take out $12, $11.94 on the day. It's getting awfully extended away from that $11. You could make a case that there was a bit of resistance here at 10 2/3 to 11-ish. It doesn't even look back there though. It's going $11.97. Big moves here for QBTS and QUBT. Finally, the one that I'm involved in breaks out. I'm still in SIDU, and I have a lot of optimism for this one to flat bottom or flat top, break through 380 or 375. Look at the amount of wicks we have into 380. Someone's shorting up there or taking profits, but they're being outdone by the buying because we keep putting in higher lows while maintaining that same flat top at 380. I'm long 38s on that one, and I don't think it would be wise for me to take out anything there. There we go. It just broke out there. Let's see if I got any prints. Do I have any prints on this? Do I have any beak wetters? I appreciate you, Lara. I don't think I had any beak wetters sitting there. Oh, I did. Nice. We took that out. We're still holding, though. So now I'm going to put it on the north side of 4. We're going to sit at 401 come what may. Let's see if this one wants to squeeze up a little bit more here. SIDU and QBTS doing real well. Big smile.
Big smile.
$5, $4.99 technically super chat. You know what he's saying, right?
Yeah, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Mr. Canadian. I don't know where I'm going with that, bro. Bye.
I know what
Look,
you're
man,
going.
hey, you know.
Years. That's a good run. 10 years, you can't really.
Well, we don't know quite yet.
Yeah.
If, dude, I got to tell you, I thought we were going to have to wait till October. I was just going to tell you the truth. I thought,
Especially
he was
after
way
the
too stubborn.
second vote of no.
Well, dude, have you looked at the polling?
Yeah, it's not even close.
He's getting shellacked.
Yeah, it's not
Whether
even
you
close.
agree with him, like him or not, I think he's lost the confidence of the people, and whatever ends up happening, I always wish everybody well and whatever they do. And here we go. So I'm waiting right now on SIDU as we knock on the door for Katina, man. We got into that 399. Unable to breach 4, though, guys, on SIDU. We're hanging out here in the mid to low 90s, packing my patience, looking for more. Let's see what we get here, Joseph.
Yeah, for sure, guys. We might get stopped out of this NVDA trade here. I mentioned that candle not too long ago, and we're now pulling back in. So weary about that, but we took the majority of the position off, which is pretty good. So I can't complain about that whatsoever. Let's see if we can hold these levels, these key support levels that were once resistance, now support. Let's see if we can hold. If we decide that we want to breach, then that signal may be valid that we were potentially turning around here on NVDA, and I think that's going to be the case. So especially when you see that type of doji, there's no wicks on it, or a little wick on that, but again, a nice gravestone or whatever you would like to call this form of doji here.
I like that.
Proving us that, hey, that thesis is valid. NVDA does not want to trade above VWAP on the session, so just keep that in mind. And I think we're going to punch out of it soon unless we do start to turn around. But Bitcoin is knocking on the door of 108,000 now, up 107.7s there on Bitcoin. So again, continuing to trade higher, breaking out, and NVDA is starting to sell here. So I'm going to pop out of this one, guys. We took the majority of it off anyways, so we're not going to complain about that. But we got some breaking news with Adara.
News, but we're going to take a look here at the DXY here, do our Money Talk segment for the afternoon. Currently hanging out here around this resistance area from going back to Thursday, around that 106.80s area. So we close around here Thursday, then Friday we have a doji candle here, closing around this level. Now slightly lower here, but still hanging out just a little bit below 107 despite a wick above that level. As mentioned earlier, we had a little bit of economic data today, but nothing huge. We had the S&P services PMI, manufacturing PMI, and composite PMI earlier today. Services and composite here came in above estimates, manufacturing below estimates. The New York Fed manufacturing print also came in below estimates. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be getting retail sales data right at 8:30 a.m. Then 9:15, we're going to get some output and production numbers. And 10 a.m., we're going to be getting business inventories and the NAHB housing market data. So lots of economic data to keep an eye out for. Another thing we digested here with some potential implications here for the U.S. dollar and the market as a whole were Donald Trump's comments from his Mar-a-Lago home in his press conference at 11 a.m. basically saying that tariffs will be good for the country. So that was one of the biggest things. Keep an eye on that tariff talk. That was huge. And one other thing I want to talk about, once again, because we're, as of right now, almost 48 hours away from the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, we're about 99.1% still expecting here this 25 basis point rate cut. So no change. But one feature I did find out about that I want to share is this feature actually allows you to show months coming up. So this is going to be the expectations for any cuts in the January 2025 meeting. As of right now here, apparently 84.4% of participants expecting rates here between 425 and 450 basis points, which would mean if we get a cut on Wednesday's meeting, it would mean that rates would be staying the same. So as of right now, it looks like we're not necessarily pricing in a cut in January. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see how everything shakes out, depending on what we get in Wednesday with that 25 basis point cut being expected. But the idea that we could actually have no cut at all in January is pretty interesting to think about, guys. Back to you.
Come on.
All right, here we go, Joseph. I just want to show this. What's going on over there, Katina, man? In AMD, the Katina is $1 and almost $1 in the money on the AMD short. Shout out to him. Yeah, I see it there. It's breaking down. It's almost in negativesville right now. It's joining its other friend, NVIDIA, going negative on the day. It's exactly break even. 126.92, 87s or thereabouts. NVDA and AMD both now negative on the day. Here we go, Joseph. I'm watching QBTS. There was a seller of note at 5s. I think he's been taken out now, or they've been taken out. Let's see now if we can squeeze. I'm waiting at 7-11. Whatever, you know, we're going to wait there. 7-10s. I know, right, Adara? I did it for you, Adara. Go Sev. We're going to wait for the slushy to come in very soon over here. We're at 7-10, waiting for that 7-11. There is big boy selling at 10s. Let's see if we can take him out. This is my last out on QBTS. So, you know, we'll just wait. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me whether I get printed at 10s or 11s. So let this one cook to see what comes. It looks as if it's not forthcoming at the moment. The break of 11s on QBTS. I am all done my trade on SIDU, and I couldn't be happier about this one. We waited for the higher low, flat top at 380. It came in spades, baby, because once it took out that level and that seller at 75 to 80 was taken out, it was going. I'm talking about SIDU. It's up 183% on the day. I was waxing poetic that there were no triple-digit winners in small cap gapper world. That is, of course, until SIDU came onto the scene and we took out that $4 level. True to form, though, we never get the high of the day. You're always mad as a trader, no matter what. 418 HOD, we took it out at 05s. So doing decent here on SIDU, waiting for either a break below 4 so we can get back in again, or if this one's going to squeeze, then we're just going to let it cook, Joseph. So right now, waiting. The last trade I have is this QBTS trade as it whiffles and waffles at that $7 area, waiting for 7-11 to possibly come in. I'm keeping my eyes, guys, on any news items that could come in about what we have just reported. But nothing is forthcoming. It doesn't really matter a whole lot to American markets, I realize that, but there could be some Canadian plays to keep your eye out on the TSX, the Toronto Stock Exchange. We have access to it here, obviously, on the floor. Not, I'm not sure exactly how many people down south even care or know about the TSX, but that could be a play now that Canadian politics in view right now, Joseph.
Oh, yeah, beautiful stuff, Sharif. But you know what time it is? It's time to pay bills shortly here, but we're in a Mara short. So again, I think I seen this double top here. I seen this double top. I know it's relatively weaker than the Bitcoin, the underlying spot itself. So I wanted to take a short on this. We got a little partial off there. Nothing crazy nor size, but again, I like this top on Mara. So again, nice short on that one. And we'll continue to monitor what Bitcoin is up to. Calbert at 50% off for just over 20%. He's telling me to buy 0DTE SPX puts. I think I'm going to pass on that one, Kyle, but I'm sure they're going to work out well for you because the SPY is starting to pull back. Starting to pull back a little bit here now. But guys, it's time for some eSignal ad read. All right, eSignal, trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to an elite trading experience. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Foresee profitable opportunities with the platform you need. Infinite data, Instant trading. Know where the market is moving before others with lightning fast data. Charts that change the game. Customize, analyze markets faster your way. Better backtesting and scanning. Predict the future by understanding the past. Reliable real-time data. Up-to-the-second market info from hundreds of global markets. Everything you need all in one place. Don't miss a beat. Execute your best trade now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description, folks. You guys know what to do. The QR code is right there on the screen, and check the link in the description as well too. eSignal, Katina Man's favorite trading, other than P Pro, favorite trading. It's his favorite. All right, there you go. You heard it from the man himself. 2 decades. two decades of eSignal. I'm saying that's how savvy of a vet you are, but savvy vet.
Hey, Joe, you're quick with that. Yeah, like
you
that.
know what I mean?
Okay.
But I mean, that's exactly what I'm getting at.
Man's like, what are you trying to say about that?
Hey, man,
part, bro?
savvy.
Joe had to come with it. I like that.
savvy vet of the eSignal knows his way around it. There's no doubt about that. So again, good luck there from the eSignal. I'm not getting anywhere with the 2 decades, man. I wish I was using it for that long. But yeah, guys, Bitcoin still, I'm going to preach it. $107,622 right now. Mara putting in that double top. Let's see if we can break some of these support levels sitting around $25. If we break that on that $25 price target on Mara, I do believe there's going to be some more southeast price action on that front. SPY is now pulling back a little bit. We were in the money nice as a collective unit, above 50 cents on our trade, but now pulling back only about 10 cents. But the Qs are continuing to just hold these levels near the high of day, trading around $538.20 there on the Qs, holding heavy as these mega cap tech stocks are putting in another monster session. Even though Google is slightly pulling back now, the overall session has been absolutely nothing short of fantastic, with Apple and Google making all-time highs. Sharif.
Man, everything's moving here. Okay, so I got to just tell you, I'm done my trade on QBTS. It took out 7-11. We've got no more positions on. I'm done my trade. I likely won't be getting into any more trades with only 20 minutes left. Separately, IONQ. What is this, bro? What is this rocket ship here? IONQ, Ionic, really moving to the high side, getting big volume candles, big breakouts, taking out 37, taking out 38, taking out 39. Are we looking at 40s? Not even up that much on the day. It's up 15%. It's not a triple-digit winner, but a very predictable, strong pattern with the 10 exponential really holding up here until about 115. We really started getting going here. IONQ taking on the top. I'm also being told by Jameson, he's like, ETHU is moving. That is a 2 times ETH ETF. As I look at Ethereum is above 4,000. It's up 4.58. Joseph, we're almost at 4,100 here on Ethereum. We're at $4,072 as that takes out local highs. Bitstonk, is it at all-time highs? We just printed another all-time high on Bitcoin, $107,858.50. You see it denoted there in the green rectangle on the side. It's just a matter of time till we hit 108,000. Shout out to my mom, who I told to buy Bitcoin at 72,000, and she's like, not on your life. Have a look. All right? Yeah, I'm definitely going to send her.
You can't call moms
like
that.
I'm going to call my mom out any day.
Like that,
She's
man.
still not convinced on it. Joseph, I'm like, where does it have to hit? It has to hit 200,000 for you to jump on the bandwagon?
Yeah, well, you know what? A lot of people still aren't convinced about this thing, Sharif. But again, just look at the numbers and then argue it. I mentioned this on Friday. It doesn't even matter what this underlying asset, Bitcoin, whatever. If I see any type of underlying asset moving the way Bitcoin is, I'm going to look to be involved. It could be anything. I don't care. If it moves like that, look to eliminate the subjectivity, eliminate the opinion, and just follow what the bigger money thinks, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
That's all. And can I say something? For people who are worried about this $100,000 area being a top, guys, this is the daily chart on Bitcoin, and all I see, I don't care about the price. All I see is higher lows. Every successive trough higher than its predecessor. That means one thing and one thing only to me. Buyers are buying it up more exuberantly. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm going to make it up. I'm going on a rant right now, okay? higher and higher lows every single time, meaning buyers are becoming more exuberant on every successive trough. That means one thing to me, that the trend is not done. This has been a bull flag extraordinary here on BTC. This is the daily chart on Bitcoin. We're looking at 110,000 in the face, and goodness gracious, where would we be on Inauguration Day? I'm getting hyped here, bro.
We're pausing now, because there's one question, Sharif, that I think you know I'm going to ask you.
Trader Buck.
Did you buy more? Yeah, okay.
I did.
I don't know.
I did.
Why?
I haven't added to anything
What
except
do you
ASML.
need? What do you need to see in order to buy more?
I had a plan.
All right.
I had a plan.
All right, you were waiting for the
low
pullback.
end of the 90s.
All right.
I had a bias that this would
That's
whiffle.
fair, that's fair.
It would waffle between 100,000 and 90,000. I was wrong.
Yeah,
I was clearly wrong.
That's fair. That's
right?
fair. I mean, dude, like we talk about this all the time with the price targets that have been projected by Dan Ives, by Saylor, by all these crypto bulls, by all these tech bulls as well too. 250,000 they have by next year. So expect this type of price movement.
Bang.
You have those 10K days. Expect those to happen more often, because we know that the supply of this is extremely limited. All right, extremely limited, and the demand, the inflows going into these spot ETFs is absolutely insane. You're getting record inflows happening week over week, 780 million, all these insane numbers happening. So expect this type of price action with Bitcoin. So again, we also had a poll as well too.
Yep.
50K or 150K.
What was the result of that?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was 150K. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it was 150K. So we are definitely to the closer end of the 150K than we were the 50K. There's no doubt about that. I don't see us getting to 50K anytime soon, if it ever does go back to those levels.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't
Dude,
think so,
if it goes back
whatever.
to 50K, there'd be an extreme amount.
There's something going on.
Yeah,
It's
there's
not
something
just a
wrong.
healthy
Yeah,
pullback. Ram, what were you saying?
Something about chocolate futures.
Chocolate futures. Oh, Coca you're talking about,
yeah.
Ram? Yeah, Coca was running up a hot minute ago. I heard about that chocolate was going to be more expensive. I think something happened with one of the what's it called? Harvests. I'm pretty sure, something like that. You guys are killing me in the chat here, man. Ryan, no turkey Christmas dinner for you, Sharif. No, I'm going to get kicked straight out. AC, Sharif, did you buy one Bitcoin at 86 plus? No, I'm not in actual coin itself. I'm in IBIT, IBIT. Same thing as your boy Joseph over there. What else? Frisky Supreme, my dad the same way, man. I've been on point lately, and now he just nods at all the screenshot winners I send. Yeah, he doesn't want to hear it. Neither does my mom, bro. She does not want to hear about it.
We got that old poll. Ram brought up that old poll. It was in favor of the 150K price target first, opposed to
Fair, and that's kind of
what I... It was close, though. It was close.
Yeah, was it actually close?
Yeah, it was really close. I'll pull it up here one more time,
okay.
Just to remember those
we got
numbers.
L3 Oogie. Mom is catching strays on this stream. You're hilarious, bro.
57%.
I don't know who this was. Ram, why did Sharif buy some BTC for his mom? Why didn't? I'm assuming. Yeah, bro, she's got her own money, man. You let her do her own thing. What am I going to finance my mom's? Kidding me? Bob Curran, Sharif amped up. Yes, I am amped up, man. I told her to buy, and I don't like to be ignored. Eclectic Passions, better you owe your mom a beer. She likes Heineken. You're right. Actually, she does actually like beer. That's her only thing, by the way. Let's see what else. Trader Buck, Sharif, you need therapy. There's a lot of anger in there. Yeah, baby. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I hit the gym.
Yeah, that's what the gym is for, baby. Let's go. That's what the gym is for.
I'm having a good time today, man.
Yeah, of course.
Harry Lou throwing shade on his mom. Hey, bro, if she didn't want shade thrown on her, she should have been punching in.
Should have been
She
buying.
didn't punch in. She didn't.
Should have been buying.
Yeah, too bad, bro.
If you don't
I'm
want
to send her this segment, too.
Yeah.
Tell her I called her out live. No, I'm just joking, of course. But, yeah, she didn't punch, and she's still not interested.
Yeah, but it's a total different generation, dude. Like I don't. If I were to tell my grandma, hey, grandma, I got this wicked new electronic currency that you need to get a part of.
What would she say?
That would be the end of it.
I love it. I love
no
it.
way,
Yeah, they're
dude.
not about that life.
Yeah, there's
They're not about
no
that life.
electronic. There's no way on God's green earth that she would be getting involved in that whatsoever. But hey. That's it.
Tony, we're just kidding. Yeah, he's like, let's respect your elders. Obviously, I completely agree with that, man. We're just having a little bit of fun at their expense. But in all seriousness, I wish she would have listened, but she didn't. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? Maybe she listens in the future once it hits 1 million.
I mean, all those times they gave us hard times growing up. You know what I mean,
bro?
A little poke here and there isn't gonna hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes. Paco OR, as usual, wants the money storm.
Hey.
Always comes in once a day with that chat. Paco, just for you, my friend, putting up the money storm. But again, I wish I didn't get out of this Mara. I didn't get back in, guys. I mentioned before that if we break 25, I do think that there's going to be some more downside. We're headed toward that $25 price target right now on Mara. It stopped me out just a little above break even. We didn't get too much off there. I should have repunched, but we were just having too much fun here. Talking about Bitcoin knocking on the door of 108,000. I do think that 110 is in the loops for today and tomorrow as well too. Ethereum continuing to climb higher as well, Sharif. Just knocking on that door of $4,100 as well too. Is that all-time highs on Ethereum? No, not quite. No, yeah. So yeah, but just under 5K is the all-time highs on Ethereum. So again, moving higher, bullish for crypto. A lot of these encrypted names are starting to trade higher, so that's fantastic for the overall market. We're enjoying it. It's a good time. Let's see what happens here with Mara Sharif.
Satea's probably doing the two-step right now, bro.
She's two-stepping. She was telling, we were talking about her Ethereum, and she said she had a lot of, I think, Solana, she said. Yeah, she had a lot of Solana, and so she's all about that. Encrypted life. So yeah, congratulations to all.
Life, I like that.
So yeah, congratulations to all the crypto bulls out there. Things are starting to work out most definitely in your favor.
Who's gonna complain about that? I want to look at some of the comments over here. This is hilarious. Kurt Hutchings. That kind of talk is why my mom has a backhand. Oh yeah. Without going into any detail, yes. Kyle Burdett, Joe, Sharif, NVIDIA headed to test that bottom again. Say less, Big Spile. Let's have a look at that because NVIDIA has certainly had that support level at that 130, and we are down there again. Big Spile, good call out there. I guess it was really started by this topping tail candle that did its absolute best to get above VWAP, but it was pushed down just like that, and here we are coming back into those lows. I'll submit to you that there has been a buyer at around 130.50. It hasn't been working its way down into that whole dollar level at 130, or at least it hasn't just yet. The majority of the buys have been at that 130, 140 area. Adara is at the big desk.
Couple stocks to keep an eye on. First up, I have NTR here. This is Nutrien. This is actually a Canadian company here. I'm seeing this one and CCJ, so a couple Canadian companies here going to be on watch, as we do have CTV News reporting that the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, here has conveyed to the cabinet he's considering possibly resignation and apparently planning to address Parliament this afternoon, which is why I wanted to bring that up. So in case we get any move in some of these Canadian stocks, just keep an eye out here. NTR had more of a reaction than CCJ. NTR with a couple volume spikes, but it is worth noting there's under 1 million shares traded at this stock today. Right now, around 750,000 shares traded on the day. I wanted to pull up Broadcom as well because this name is still been really strong. A little bit of a pullback here as we got to 250, but still up more than 10% on the day. Looks like the catalyst for this was some positive comments from Goldman Sachs after their earnings report Thursday after the close, raising their 12-month price target for Broadcom to $240, which is still, I guess, below where Broadcom's trading right now, basically citing additional large customers for their custom silicon and saying that the management did a good job with their purchase of VMware. So looks like AVGO here, though they are pulling back off that 250 level, definitely on watch, guys. Back to you.
I'm kind of shook, Joseph. I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I am is just because I didn't anticipate this.
You didn't
like
think
if you had asked me legitimately, I would have put an 80% odds of him seeing his term out.
I thought that he would have. Yeah. I thought he would have for sure, especially from that standpoint. We had the dual vote of no confidence. Again, didn't go through because the NDP backed
Yeah, so
Trudeau.
what Joseph's talking about is we have a parliamentary system on this side of the border, and so in the parliament, you can, if you don't have the majority of the seats, you have to kind of create a deal with another party that has seats as well. So we call that kind of a minority government where they govern kind of together in consensus. And so the only way to stay in power is you need that party that you've made a deal with to vote with you on these votes of confidence. These votes of confidence, they can be money bills or they can just be confidence bills. I'm sure you guys saw it in England the other day or not the other day, a little while ago, once the Conservative government there was taken down by Labour. We're kind of the opposite over here, where the Labour, the Liberal Party, is trying to be taken down by the Conservative Party, right? And that leader, the leader of the Conservative Party, his name is Pierre Poilievre. And this guy has been trying to put confidence votes to force an election at every opportunity he gets. But the party that's been siding with the Liberal Party to keep them in government has been voting against it. So therefore, we've maintained the government parliamentary system, a different system altogether than what you guys got south of the border. You know, there's concentrations of power. We're not going to go into political science lesson, but that's what kind of we're talking about there. And yeah, so that we may not have to wait all that long to find out. Big Spal just sent me pictures of what he's dealing with down in Pennsylvania right now. And dude, it looks more like Canada down there than it looks like Canada up here, brother. Because we haven't gotten any snow yet. We got like half a centimeter, and it's already gone, Ram. And it looks like Big Spile's dealing with a plethora of snow down there. I'm going to load that up in a second. But what do you got over there, Joseph?
Yeah, I mean, I re-entered that Mara short, Sharif, at the break of 25. I know Ron in the chat said he's in Mara as well, too, and maybe a couple other people. So nice job there, Ronnie. Let's see if we can continue and test VWAP here on Mara, see if we can get to that 2450 level. We don't have too much time left, guys, so a nice fast flush down would be really nice. But again, other than that, we're just going to sit in this one. I know a lot of people are saying Ethereum touched that $4,100 price target. So yeah, good luck there on Ethereum as well too. I mean, we just mentioned this. The cryptocurrency has been on an absolute tear, as well as some of the mega caps as well too, guys. So keep that in mind. Let's see what Google's been up to. Again, from a intraday's perspective, and see what it is up to. Yeah, just hovering around those day highs. Again, I don't know if it's going to go and test those all-time highs again or the high of day, but only time will tell on that front. But guys, continue to let us know in the chat. Oh yeah, there was a good options question in the chat. Sorry that I missed it. Oh no, someone asked about. Yeah, I'm not going to try to remember it. But again, there was a good question that I said we were going to talk about. Just retype it and tag me in it, and then I'm going to talk about. This was what it was. Do you think that Tesla will split again at $1,000?
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit. We're not even halfway there. You think before that?
Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tesla, I think it's like so much in popular culture that he will want to weasel in more retail.
Yeah.
If he can.
If he can.
I mean, if Pandub splitting at $400.
Yep.
Yeah. Not everything has to split at $1,000.
Right? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. I mean,
we're split in 20. We got a 21 split, right?
It was $1,000 then, right?
We got a 20 split or 21 split?
I think so. I think it was
like
somewhere along those lines.
Twice since COVID, though. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he split twice since COVID. So again, yeah, maybe you get a little bit more higher end price here, then that might be put on the table, no doubt. Because just as Sharif mentioned, he would definitely want retail to get more involved with his stock. There's no doubt about that. So I guess it's only a matter of time, especially on this path, until it reaches that higher price target, $600-700, and then maybe you can start to assess that. But I do think, as Sharif mentioned, that he does split eventually again.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Meta hasn't even split yet.
Another
so
one.
We're waiting on that one too. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's it's getting into that split territory. I mean, I don't know exactly what
has
level
Netflix
it.
Has Netflix ever split?
I don't think
so either, right?
I don't think so.
Right?
I can double check, but I'm pretty sure it
Yeah,
hasn't.
so.
D-Loaf, Sharif, all these politicians got to tiptoe the lines of their political party's interest. Glad my father went independent when named a senator 5 years ago. Man's killing it. Shout out to you. In case you don't know what D-Loaf talking about, senators are appointed in this country rather than elected. So I think that's what he's talking about. Shout out to you, D-Loaf. Did not know your old man was a senator, man. Thanks for telling me. Crapstock, do you think quantum age do you think the quantum age will after us as traders, will come after us as traders? Yeah, brother, that is a really good question. AI, quantum, does it change everything, going into the future? I think it does. I don't think it's something that happens overnight, obviously, but it's hard for me to believe that artificial general intelligence and whatever other types of artificial intelligence come to fruition, that they don't change a trading game. We're going to have to wait and see. Hard to predict these things, but yeah, I totally get your point there, my man. Kyle Burdett telling me that video he sent me with all the snow is from yesterday, melting now, he says. So good luck. I personally don't like it when there's too much driving snow around. I don't like it on the roads. I like it, to ski and stuff like that. So it's nice once they get all that cleaning done, then you can kind of enjoy it off the roads. But it just makes for way too messy of a commute. And I drive to work now, so that's a bit of a tough road. Let's have a look at the MEG. So we're obviously, we're at highs, or just about there at highs on the NQ December contract. We've talking about how we're likely going to roll over to the March contract on Friday. They are doing similar amounts of volume. Just by comparison, we have 370,000 contracts on the December, 331,000 on the March. So it's just a matter of time till the new contract overtakes the old, and we'll replace December with March. In any event, 22,125 has been a level of importance. And the reason is because we've been kind of wicking into it to no end, unable to breach it, but above that 22,100 point level, but kind of doing a bit of a consolidative dance right now, up 1.5% on the NQ. And that's really had a strong effect on every Mag 7 name except NVIDIA. Okay, so for whatever reason, on the day, all the Mag 7, Greensville, except for NVDA, trying to hold that $130 level, down 2.5%. You also have other microchip names that are down with it. SMCI, you have ARM down, and then basically Qualcomm. Those are the main names that are down on the day. Not much else down in semis land. Now, with respect to some other tidbits with the Mag 7, I think we are at all-time highs right now. I could be wrong here on Amazon. Let me just double check. We are at all-time highs. 232.08 is the all-time high, so we just printed that. So Amazon awfully strong on the day. Like Apple with that 251.38, that's another all-time high. Tesla, 461.45, all-time high. Google, 199 on the dot, all-time high. You get where I'm going with this. So it's been a great day for the longs, for the long-term accounts if you're holding these names right now. So good look right now for the Mag, Joseph. But Quantum has been in play. Crypto's in play. There's a whole lot of stuff in play, bro.
A lot of the mags, some of the mags are in play as well too. But Sharif, just to close off the wonderful session, a beautiful Monday this far, guys. Brent, $2 super chat. Thank you, Brent Roth. Thank you, Joseph. A coffee on me. Thanks, my guy. Much appreciated as always. Make sure that you always put those questions in the chat. Much appreciated. We love those super chats, and we love the questions that you guys put. Kyle told me to say, hey, he's a gay. Make sure Sharif shows me those pictures. So after we're done, you got to show me what
I'll show you those.
What KB is up to over there south of the border, guys. Can't afford shoes for them, only with girls. Yeah, guys. Joey. Oh, I forgot to docket our SPY trade. Thanks, BVB, for always reminding me. As always, I'm going to mark it down right now. But it is 2 o'clock, guys. Sharif, you got anything final words?
No. All I got to tell you guys is Joseph and I will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same dang bat channel.
Credit Spreads Part 2 tomorrow, guys.
Take it over, Big Kahunas.
Ciao.
Heyo, welcome everybody, and we're back. Yes. I love what's going on with this this afternoon SPY trade you guys have going on. That said, has there been a day it hasn't been a long